Happy Saturday. Hello, hello. Just got back from thrifting. Decent haul. Decent haul. I did have you know how you have like those items in your head where you're just like, ooh, I really hope I find this. I did find one of those. So I have it right here. I'll show it in a second. And I found some Nancy Drew stuff. I got some DVDs. I need to get one of those. I couldn't find one there. I was like, imagine if they had like one. I keep wanting to call it like a trapper keeper. But like one of those binders, like those soft binders, that people used to keep all like their DVD collections in. I want one so bad. I've decided like that's the route we're going to go. We are getting a DVD player or like a Blu-ray player, something that plays, both of them, because our Xboxes are very unreliable. They're old. But I got like 8 DVDs, I think, of like some of my favorite movies. So no, it was an enriching morning, we'll call it. Yeah, how's everyone's Saturday going? I hope everyone had good weeks. Let me see here. We can X out of this. I do need to get my game ready to go again. Like I said, I always have to. That's always the best when you go to the thrift looking for something and you actually find it. It was a decoration piece, so not that exciting. And Caleb, I was looking for video games because I was like, that would be a fun thing to just collect too, is like old Xbox games, things like that. I'll be keeping an eye on your. Oh no, Anya. Well, I'm glad you made it anyways. I wonder why it didn't notify you. But Caleb, I've been keeping an eye on some of your listings too because I was like, I want to collect those things for like our kids as we continue to have more of them so that they just have like a library of games and books and movies to pull from as they want. So that'll be I may be buying some stuff from you. Maybe I'll like be like, hey, if you can keep an eye out for this, let me know. We also have, like how Dan, Sam, and I found Fortnite Monopoly at Goodwill last weekend, and we joked about it all week. It was like, that's a meant to be find, exactly. You were destined to find that. What are you playing tonight? We are playing Nancy Drew, Legend of the Crystal Skull. If you were ever a fan of like the Nancy Drew games, in like the 2000s, they're still coming out with new games like to this day. They just came out with one in May. So we're going to be playing some classic Nancy Drew today. It's 1 p.m. where I live. Are we talking about physical media? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Like, I can hold in my hand. Never played the Nancy Drew games, but I love the stories. Then you are going to love what I found at the thrift store today. So we'll start with, they're not like the classic books, like the blue and yellow spines. I was looking so hard for them, but I'm sure that those are such a like rich find in general that, other people are going to pick those up. But I have a daughter, she just turned 1, and I'm like slowly just kind of trying to like build her library over the years. So we got some Nancy Drew Diaries books. We have The Red Slippers and Sabotage at Willow Woods, $1 each. And God, that's such a good smell. I love that smell. And we also have Nancy Drew and the Clue Crew, Case of the Sneaky Snowman. So a couple different reading levels, little Nancy Drew finds. So those are going to be for her little library that I'll be building. And the house we live in, old houses like what we have used like every single nook and cranny they have for storage. Like Caleb upstairs at our cousin's house, you know how like they have like those creepy, well, it'd be, Grandpa Henry's old house, the creepy little like closet crawl space things. Like our house is built very similarly. And I want to make like kind of like there's a huge closet in my daughter's room on the other side of this wall. It is, thank you. Yeah, it was a great find. I like didn't even like look at the titles. I just grabbed them as soon as I saw Nancy Drew. I was like, these are coming home with me. But there's like a huge closet, and part of it I just want to be for like, baby clothes storage and stuff like that. But I do want to make it like a toy room / like reading nook area where it's just like kind of this like mystical little space. There's no like, there's a light bulb in there, but there's not really like plugins or anything like that. So I do want to make it kind of like a like hidden little playroom for our kids. We have one right now, but hoping to have more. And yes, of course, we're talking about physical media. Yeah, I want to make it magical. That is my goal, is I just, there's so many parts of my childhood that I find to be magical, and part of like the best part of being a parent is like being able to create that for your kids. So today was a good day for that. I know I have like 3 of those DVD holder things. You can have at least one. I might take one from you then if you have one that you don't need. Because there is nothing better than like going to a friend's house and just going through their movies. There's something about that tangible like going through it thing that I really love. VHS is my favorite media format to accumulate. I don't collect, I accumulate. I love that word. VHS is fun. My favorite part of VHSs, when they were the modern thing and I was watching them growing up, I loved rewinding them and watching the movie backwards. You can't do that with a DVD. VHS. So I think like the older VHSs would let you do that. I remember like my VeggieTales movies I could always do that with, but like newer ones, I think it would just like show like a white screen or whatever, or like a white noise screen. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Caleb, is the yellow hardcover Nancy Drew books. My library had the complete collection growing up, and I remember I like printed off the Wikipedia list of all the Nancy Drew games, and I used that as my checklist on my bulletin board, and I would walk down to our library every single week over the summer and check out like 3 or 4 of those nice hardcover ones. Having a shelf of those, even if I don't get like the full collection, but having a shelf of those would just be chef's kiss. So good. And then this is my find. You guys are going to see it and be like, oh, that's not that big of a deal. But this has been one of those things that I've just like been picturing for, which we have some additions back here. I've done some shopping. I just wanted like a super like cozy, curated, cluttery corner. We're getting there. So I added my little ottoman here. This chair I got for free. I will be candid about that. This gaming chair, office chair, I bought myself. And then this one went viral and sold out on Amazon, and I made like a ridiculous amount of money off of it. It was like one of those that happens once and it'll never happen again type things. And the company reached out to me and they're like, "Hey, that was crazy. Can we send you another chair?" And I was like, I've been looking for a chair for my little corner back here. Sure. And it's a great chair. It's a comfy chair. But, like, sitting in it without an ottoman is not that like, it's not just, like, cozy to, like, curl up in. Ottoman's been the game changer. Or ottoman? Yeah, ottoman. Footrest. Game changer back here. So now this is, like, really comfortable to sit in. And, like, I just wanted somewhere where, like, when I'm editing videos or, just even reading, I want to, like, have a little space. I think I'm going to move my Switch back there. Maybe. Because I have it up here right now. I just moved it onto my desk so I can plug it into my monitor and play. But I think I want to move it back there just so it's like more of like a cozy nook area. And then, what else? So it's super comfortable to sit in now. I wanted a little side table here to just like kind of I just needed like something like right here. It was just kind of bare. So I found like the perfect side table. It's like the perfect height, perfect width. Very excited to get. Jake, my cousin, is going to be printing me. He's 3D printing me a planter that I'm going to hang up above like where this chair is, and it's going to kind of like hide the light, but you'll still be able to like see like the light from the light, but you won't see the strip as much. So yeah, things are coming together, and then I've decided. Thank you, Demi. It's coming together. It was just kind of like a blank beige area back here before, and I'm trying to just really make it cozy. I have a little like basket down here that's perfect for holding like magazines. Speaking of media preservation, I created like an all-time sin. I think I did. I used to have like every 17 magazine from like all of my high school years. I kept every single one, and I would go back and read through them. And I think I got rid of them all, or it was like when I was like moving out to go to college, it was one of those things where it felt like 20 pounds of magazines, and I was like, well, I don't need them, let's recycle them. I think I recycled them, and it's killing me now because A, I should have donated them, B, I should have actually just kept them because I love those, and C, I could have put them all in this little, I just want this to be like a cute little magazine storage thing. I have magazines over here. I have some Vogue magazines, which I just don't find Vogue to be that interesting to read. But at the thrift stores, they also have like cute little magazines there too. And I was like, that would be fun to like thrift some magazines. I want some like home and garden style magazines, things like that to go there. I have to catch up on this chat. Library had a full set of Hardy books, first run in the Case Files series. Those are good ones too. We had a few of those. My brother was into them. And I think I read one of them growing up, but I was totally a Nancy type girl. Okay, interior designer Pop-Off. She's been decorating. So speaking of, I've been looking for like one of those like candlestick holders on the wall, and I found it. Like I saw it and I was like, that's exactly what I wanted. Where it has like the little mirror. Also, say hi. I see you guys. It has like the mirror, and I want it to go like, it's gonna like go on this wall somewhere, kind of by the reading nook, so you can like read by the candlelight. I'm just gonna put like an electric candlestick in it. So yeah, this was $1. I've been hoping to find one of these for like ever. I did see someone get like, this girl was like marching around the thrift store with the biggest smile on her face because you knew she scored. She found a vintage Prada suitcase, like rolling suitcase. I saw it on her way out and she was just grinning like ear to ear, and I was like, that is a good find. That's like where I live, like you don't expect to find that kind of thing, but very Message in the Haunted Mansion basement. Yes, like that kind of like saloon style. Exactly. So, and then the other thing, my butterfly back here, the person who lived here before us, she was a sweet old woman. Our neighbor adored her. Passed away, I think. I think she's passed away. Had like 8 kids in this house. This is like not a very big house. It's a great like starter house for us, like having small children. Very walkable community. We're within like, I think I talked about this last stream. We're within like a half mile of like the library, downtown, schools, the hospital. My husband literally ran home from the hospital when we had our baby because his car died in the parking lot and he had to go get mine. We're like blocks away from the hospital. But also like 5 different parks. Like we just have such a walkable neighborhood, so it's like perfect for like those young years when we're getting out of the house with our kids and stuff. But she had like 8 kids in this house, which is crazy to me. This house is not big enough for 8 kids, but they found a way. But the lady who lived here before us loved butterflies. There was a butterfly-themed bathroom. She has milkweed planted for the monarchs because monarchs can only lay their eggs on milkweed. So we have like a whole like patch of milkweed along one side of our house. And yeah, so I'm like, the butterfly imagery needs to stay, I've decided. So, and I love butterflies too. So we have a cute little butterfly print over here. I can't decide if this is going to stay in here or if it's going to go in my daughter's room. We'll see where it finds its home. So it was a good day at the thrift store. Should I tell you guys about the movies I found? Because I was actually pretty excited about them. Some of them were for my husband. Some of them were for my kid. And few of them are for me. We got The Greatest Showman, which I love that. That's like one of my favorite musicals. I already own it digitally, but I'm trying to transition to physical media. We have The Incredibles. I love that movie. And I am so vehemently against getting a Disney Plus subscription. We are down to 1 subscription, and I'm very pleased about it. We have Amazon Prime, and that's it. And then we bum off my parents' HBO. But like even last night, my husband and our daughter is with my parents this weekend. I dropped her off yesterday. We had a lovely lunch with my grandma and my mom, and they're having the best time with her. I love when she's able to have grandparent time. I miss her a lot, but she'll be back tomorrow. But I have a full day to myself, which is like, that never happens. It never happens. And yeah, so part of my day I went thrifting. So yeah, we got The Incredibles. Trying not to get that Disney subscription again. I have the Kingsman movies, which are some of my favorite movies. I love those movies. Kingsman: The Secret Service, and then The Golden Circle. I got both of those at separate thrift stores. I got the OG Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire. We just did like a Spider-Man rewatch recently too. I think that's also on Disney Plus. And I've decided, like, I would love to have, like, the full... I love the Spider-Man movies. They're probably my favorite out of Marvel. So I got the original Spider-Man. I would love to get the full set, like, all 3 series, or all 3 iterations, maybe is the word for it. I got Starsky and Hutch for my husband. He loves Owen Wilson movies, so he'll be happy to see that one. I got Pirates of the Caribbean, another Disney Plus exclusive. That one was still in its, like, casing, so it's never been opened. And then I got War of the Worlds, which is unironically one of my favorite movies. I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan, but I love the movie War of the Worlds. The aliens in that movie just, like, have such a guttural... I have such a guttural reaction to them. They scare the shit out of me. So yeah, little DVD haul. They're $1 each. How can you not? Okay, enough about that. We should try to play Catan this week or next. Yes. Past that, I'll probably be focused on moving. Oh, I won't ask where you're moving to because, you know, don't need to dox you, but... Oh, seriously? Never mind. I didn't read far enough. Okay, so you're moving in with Matt and working with... That's so exciting. I didn't know that. We were just talking about you yesterday at lunch. I think my grandma was talking about your brother graduating and stuff. And, like, there's, like, a wedding that weekend. And so I think, you know, that side of the family can't go because it's your brother's. There's, like, a Nebraska wedding. It's the other side of the family. But that's super exciting, Caleb. So you're going to be around. That's awesome. We'll have to, like, we need to do a Halo Fest sometime. We haven't done a Halo Fest in, like, 2 years. I think last time it was when Matt and Allison were still in their apartment. And Halo Fest is just where we hang out and play a bunch of multiplayer Halo all day, like old school, preferably. We'll have to do Halo Fest this summer. I think that'd be a lot of fun. We'll pick, like, a gloomy weekend or something. But yeah, we should play Catan this week. Frickin' Sam keeps having plans, Mr. Popular. So, okay. Next order of business, we need to update our Nancy Drew sheets. We need to... Actually, my first order of business is I have to get the game set up. WXWND. I just get really annoyed because it doesn't want to... It never wants to, like, pop up in my search. Like, it's on my computer, but it's such an elusive little program. Why is it only giving me the setup? Is it in here? No. Ugh. Okay. I knew I should have come up here earlier. I think it's just DXWND is the program. I'll look. Well, to be fair, he does close on his house on... That is fair. No, that's fair. And Jake's got his house coming up, too. Ooh, you and your dad are going to a flea market an hour away from us tomorrow. That'll be a lot of fun. Flea markets are good. Jake wants to do a Malibu night once. I would drop Freya off for a sleepover. That hot tub okay. So, Caleb and I, for those, you know, who don't know the lore, Caleb and I have 4 cousins in common. Boys aged like, early 20s to late-ish 20s. How old's Matt now? Okay, Matt's like 26, so early to mid-20s now. And we're all gamers. We all grew up gaming, and they're, like, getting to, like, the ages where they're buying houses and stuff. 2 of them, the middle 2, just bought houses, like, back-to-back, literally within weeks of each other. No, Jake's house looks sick. I was just showing my mom the Zillow listing yesterday, and I was like, I remember telling Jake, too, in our cousins chat, I was like, if you don't get that house, like, I will be a little upset, because I don't think I've ever seen a more perfect place for him. So, yeah, that's... A Malibu root beer night would be prime. I went out to... This was a couple weeks back. I have 2 of my college friends have back-to-back birthdays. I'm getting really upset trying to find this program on my computer right now. They have back-to-back birthdays, like 2-3 days apart or something, so we celebrated them both, and we went to this... Oh, yeah, I think I did talk about this, because we saw the Love is Blind cast when we were out. And I ordered a Malibu root beer because I always like blank when I never order mixed drinks. We never go to the bar. We're very homebody. Like last night, we literally went on a gym date with our night to ourselves and ordered Domino's and watched Lord of the Rings. So that was our date night last night. But anyway, so we were at this like bar in the North Loop, which is like the popular place in Minneapolis right now, I guess. Not well versed in the area. And the bartender is like, yeah, what do you want? And I blanked and I'm just like, Malibu root beer. And she's like, what? Is that good? She tried my drink before she gave it to me. And, which, like, fine, like, don't be sick. But, and she's like, oh my gosh, that's actually so good. If you've never tried a Malibu root beer, first of all, my cousin, Jake, did he come up with it or did his friend, like, suggest it or something? It was something like that. It's, like, the best drink. It's so good. It tastes like a root beer float. Coconut rum, root beer, so good. Honestly, if we can't use the window to play Nancy with, I think it's fine. I just need to know. I just need to like bookmark that place in my files. Let's see. DXWND, I think is what it's called, right? Yes. Oh. DXWND. I don't know where I saved it, so we'll be finding that. So we are going to, I need to get the game set up. We need to update our sheets. We won't do the resume yet, but we will update the character sheet. And then anything else. And then we'll play the game. We can play as long as we want. I have literally all day. Tanner's not going to be home until like late, like 10 p.m. if that's late. It's the whole day. I can do whatever the F I want today, and I'm so excited. Taking suggestions for how I should spend my cozy recluse night. I think I'm going to just play more Inzoi and try and get into that game. I just discovered my chicken bites I bought at Sam's Club yesterday, but ooh. Do you ever just like risk it though? Have you ever just, like, I don't do it with, like, now that we have Freya, my daughter, obviously I'm not going to, like, you know, feed her anything that's questionable, but, like, if it's just you, do you ever just, like, what if I just eat them anyways? Because I've done that with, like, burger I've left in the microwave for, like, 12 hours. I touch it to make sure it's still a little cold, and I just really cook it well. Haven't done it in a while, but like sometimes you're just like so defeated and you're like, oh my God, that was like, I was depending on that. Sometimes you just risk it, right? What do you mean no items match my search? Okay. See? You put them back in the freezer. And if you get a little sick, you get a little sick, but like, there's worse things to eat, I'm sure. Okay, WXWND. I just can't believe it's not popping up right now, you guys. Maybe I need to go this way. DX. I just can't believe it's not popping up. Okay, what's this? No, that's not what I want. Like I said, I'm pretty sure we can still... If I go to, like, my programs and stuff... Sorry, guys. This is just one of those things that... What do, you know? Here, maybe I can find it in here. I swear it just, like, removes itself from my computer. It's probably, like, just a little, like, virus thing. Who knows? No, just kidding. I think it's fine. It's been fine to use. But it, like, you can't pin it. You can't, like, save it anywhere. I knew I should have done this earlier. Usually it's just, like, right in my search and it's fine, but not today. Okay, let's go to my program files. They did. WXWND. Or DXWND. I keep saying that. And I don't even know if, like, what the subfolder, or, like, what the If it like saves into a different folder or something. I don't know. I just don't know. DirectX, not the same thing. We might just try and freeball it and just say, let's just play Nancy as is. I mean, yeah, we'll just try and play the game as is. It's a newer game, so it should run the way it's supposed to. If not, we will. I'm 14 hours into Inzoi now. The graphics are so good. You must have a beefy PC then. I know that's like one of the biggest complaints from it so far, is how my friend actually got it. She has like a whole PC setup. I run my games on a gaming laptop that I got like 5 years ago. Probably needing to upgrade in the next couple years, but we will see. But she's literally like, I'm so frustrated. I just like upgraded my processor. She's like, I'm just dropping money. I just dropped like $200 on this game tonight. I already put in the order at Micro Center. Like, I just got a gaming laptop this week. My PC was getting too old for it. That's where I think mine is. I can run it on the lowest settings. It works a little bit better once you get like into the game. Loading in, it's kind of choppy, but then it's, yeah, it's playable for me. But yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it so far. For me, it's like one of those things where I play like extremely modded Sims. So it's like, you know, a horse apiece between the two of them. But I am like really liking how I love the time control and how you don't have to get a mod for that. And I like how it's just like slower paced and like more, it feels cozier than Sims, I think. So I definitely need to play more of it. But I'm glad you're enjoying it so far. Also, congrats to you getting a gaming laptop this week. That's super exciting. There's nothing like a new piece of technology is just like, it's so good. It's so good. It was $12, no shame. My immune system's been tested before, right? You're going to be fine. The day-old chicken nuggets are nothing. It does make me hungry, though. We have so much extra pizza in the fridge right now. Domino's got a new Parmesan stuffed crust. It is pretty good. Our Domino's has gone through such a transition in the last few years. There was a time where it was so bad. It was so bad. You wouldn't get your order for like 2 hours. And when it finally got there, it'd be like it's someone else's order. And they'd be like, sorry, we'll bring yours in a little bit. And then you'd wait another hour for it. And it's like, I'm not even hungry anymore. I'm just going to bed. It was really bad for a while. They've gotten and like the food just like wasn't good. They'd like overcook things or just not cook it enough and it'd get doughy and just, it wasn't good for a while, but it's gotten so much better. It's probably the best pizza in town right now. Pretty good. Casey's Pizza, Casey's gas station pizza. Ooh, also really good. It's a bit more laid back, yep. And very proud thing to save up for. I know, that's like, it's one of those beasts, a PC, for those, this is on TikTok, someone's talking about buying a new gaming laptop. It's just one of those purchases that it feels like so big and like it just feels like such a long thing to have to save up for, but it's so worth it once you get there. It's so, oh my gosh, I'll never forget getting my first one. That was my first switch. This laptop was my first switch from console to like a true gaming laptop, PC, whatever. Changed my life. I play Switch and I play PC now pretty exclusively. So I think when I was like first postpartum with my baby, I played a little bit of Xbox just because it was easier for me to like lay on the couch when I was recovering and stuff. I like couldn't climb stairs. I couldn't even get up here. So that was like the only time I played Xbox in the last few years. Or like multiplayer, I do like playing for Xbox. A huge milestone whenever you get a new big tech piece. That's always it's always worth like patting yourself on the back for. My Casey's doesn't start your order until you walk in. I had that happen. No, Casey's Pizza's good, but ours, like, I walked in. This was so uncomfortable, actually. I went to go pick up our pizza, and the pizza guy's out back taking a smoke break, which, like, if you had a hard day, you do you. But he came in and it had, like, a whole meltdown, and I had to stand there. Like, I should have just gone and waited in my car, but it was just such an awkward situation that I didn't. And I just, like, stood there politely while this guy was having, like, a whole meltdown in the kitchen trying, like, he was just like, God damn it, shit. I'm so behind. There's like 12 orders for me to catch up on. And I'm like, oh, I felt bad for ordering pizza. My sister-in-law came over with her kids. They were waiting here. I was like, I'll go pick up the pizza. Don't worry. Like an hour later, I come back with the pizza. I think the guy like gave me like a coupon or something. Like the guy at like the register gave me a coupon because he felt so bad. But no, it was a really awkward thing to have to stand through. Okay, on to, let's go to, I need to find these. I think they're in my Chickwood account. I love my like main Gmail account because I have like my personal one that I use for like everything else. It's literally my headshot. I look so professional. It's my headshot from when I was teaching. I'm just with like a nice background. That one, it always, I look so old. Okay. My Drive, Nancy Drew folder, character lists. Here we go. It's been a while, guys. It has been a while. Let's review our categories, character categories for Nancy Drew. So as we play the Nancy Drew games, we started this last year when I was streaming before I had my baby. Then I took a long stream break. Now I'm back. But we have been categorizing. We have so many people on this list. I didn't realize how many we've come across. We've been categorizing Nancy Drew characters into these lists that we've made based on like Nancy Drew game things that have happened. We did go all out. Like I feel like I'm gonna have to translate part of this because some of it is just, we were like in the inside jokes back then. So we gotta like remember, we have Grimm's Baddies, which are just kind of those like badass characters that you have appreciation for, whether they are good or not, whether they, you know. And so as we've played different Nancy Drew games, we will go into here and we'll add to our list. So I think we last updated this. Okay, we had to have updated it for White Wolf because we have Freddy in here. So in our Grimm's Baddies, which is one of the books from Captive Curse, it's called Grimm's Baddies, which is funny today because baddie is now like, you know, a term for like, what, attractive, badass looking female? Is that correct? I might be aging myself here. I'm 30. I maybe had a baddie stage at one point, but that was ages ago, so who knows. But I think that's what a baddie is. That's how I'll describe it. So for our Grimm's Baddies, we have Anya. Whichever Anya, the one in our chat or the one from the game, no. We have Anya, the culprit from, also spoilers, Nancy Drew game spoilers. It is you. You are a Grimm's Baddie. Come on. Anya, the culprit from Captive Curse. We have, of course, Professor Hodgkiss, who kind of pissed me off in Legend of the Crystal Skull. When she forgets Nancy, I get so personally offended for Nancy. Nancy's so patient and kind. I could never. Vivian Whitmore, the phone contact from Ghost Dogs. Love her. Right? She's the phone contact. She was the one who was dating the gangster, Mickey Malone. And we had to like get her to send us a key and stuff. She's an absolute, she should probably be at the top of this list. This list is so accurate so far. Because then we also have Eustacia, who is a phone contact from Final Scene, I believe. Of course, we have Mel, our girlie from Waverly. Can you guys hear that? Also, let me know is my mic too loud. I did turn it up a little because it was really, I looked back at the video from last week and it seemed really quiet. So let me know. Our goth GF. Yep. Did you know there's a goth next door to me? That one of the funniest lines in Nancy Drew. That's another thing we should start collecting is like the best Nancy Drew like one-liners. We have Ethel, who may be a controversial addition to this list. The one who pops up out of nowhere. She does give baddie energy though. There's no Tex, absolute baddie. Did we put all of the Shadow Ranch people on here already? I think we did. Tex, he's kind of a toss-up between a Grimm's Baddie and a Daddy Hunkbuck, but I think he's safely in the Grimm's Baddies category. We have Abby. Why am I forgetting Abby? Hold on. Okay, that's who I thought it was. We have Abby from Message in a Haunted Mansion. Kind of our mystical, psychic. She does like a whole ass seance in the basement. That's crazy. That would be such a scary scene as a kid. I didn't play that one until I was older, so. We have Jacques Brunet. Did I say it French enough? Jacques. He can be a baddie. I think he's a weak baddie, but I do think he's a baddie. Speaking of baddies, Dagny Silva. Absolute baddie. I love her. Freddie Randall, the girl that you have Snowball. Okay, my neighbor's chainsawing. We're gonna have to deal with that. It's a nice day in Minnesota, so we really can't blame him, but we're gonna have to deal with that. It's fine. It's like the background sound. I promise my windows are closed. Lucas from Captive Curse is another Grimm's baddie for us. That sneaky little shit. I love him. He's actually like one of my I'm really happy he has hobbies. We're gonna, happy. He's like the definition of like divorced dad listening to Creed in the garage. So of course he's chainsawing. That's what divorced dads do. Stop chainsawing. We don't get to do this. This is a rare occurrence for us. Be quiet. No, he's very nice neighbors. Honestly, probably quieter than our last neighbors. Not a big enough house for 5 kids, but they had 5 kids. So they would just like shoo them outside to leave the parents alone. And they would literally just like sit in the backyard and scream. I don't typically dislike kids. I was a former teacher. I like kids. I did not really like those kids. I didn't like the parents because I did high key like judge the parents. They were just really mean to their kids. Like, not abusive, but, like, borderline where it's like, yeah, you shouldn't talk to your kids that way. And the kids acted out because of it. Tea on my neighbors, but they don't live here anymore. So I was very happy to see that for sale sign in their house back in the day. But, yeah, the kids would just, like, go outside and, like, scream at their top of their lungs constantly. And, this is better. I'll take this. We have Fiona Malloy. Oh, Fiona. I was thinking, the bride from Casa Malloy, and I was like, she's not really a baddie, but Fiona flying around on a jetpack, living her little swamp witch dreams, total baddie. George Fane, total baddie. She's one of the besties. Olivia Dorfman, we put her as a baddie, huh? And Elsa Sybil, she's the girlfriend, right? She's the girlfriend that, like, used to work there and that we talked to her on the phone. Olivia was the bird watcher, wasn't she? You know what? Sure. Yeah, I think she's a baddie. Daddy Hunkbucks is our next category, and these are, like, daddy energy. I think we derived this name from, like, Big Daddy Choco Bucks from Royal Tower. Lupe was the bird girlie. Is Olivia the... One of them was the girlfriend and one of them's like the manager, correct? Who's Olivia from White Wolf? Oh, not the freelance writer. Who are you? Nancy Drew. Who's Olivia Dorfman? She has to be a phone. I don't remember her either. Should we just delete her? Sorry, Olivia. Okay, Daddy Hunkbucks category. Daddy energy. Different from baddie energy. Daddy energy. We have Dave Gregory top. Will probably remain the top of this list. We are a Dave Gregory fan club, although... myself personally, a little partial to Henrik van der Heun for reasons I can't really articulate. I don't know what it is about Henrik. He just kind of does it for me. Very close third place. I should almost just turn these specific bullets into numbers. Alejandro Del Rio from Scarlet Hand. Chef's Kiss. He's a beauty. Dexter, a.k.a. Daddy Choco Bucks Jr. Daddy Choco Bucks is probably on this list not too, but he's, long gone, passed away, so who knows. We have Holt Scotto. Yeah, he gives daddy energy. He's very assertive, and he kind of like, he knows what he wants in life. He would have been, there's a protest happening in our town today, and like, I will always sing praises about being in like a small, big town. By small, big, I mean like, between like 10 and 20,000 people, I think is like a good number. There's a protest happening downtown. I drove past it on my way. Exactly. I thought Dumpy. Do we not have him on here? Because he's got daddy energy. We haven't played that game yet, but we know he's on this list. Is he a daddy or a baddie? He might have more baddie energy now that I'm thinking about it. We'll leave him here for now, and we can always, I'll put a star next to him. We can always move him. He is daddy. He's daddy baddie. He's like right between the two. But yeah, Holt Scotto would have hated the protest happening in our town today. But like, I love being in a community this size because it's one of those things. One of my biggest pet peeves is people who have big political opinions but never do anything about it. Who just like to bitch online essentially. And it's like, there's like positive things you can do in your community to help and change and, to help get the world to a better place. There is. This is a community where that is so possible. It is so possible to go to your like city council, your school council, or school board meetings, things like that, and like, make some noise, and like it changes things. Even like we had a road going in that like should not have been designed the way it was, and so many people were mad about it that they totally U-turned, and it's not happening anymore. And I'm so happy because we live by it, and it would have really kind of been really hard. It would have just made things less walkable. Very small example of how things can change, but like the protest happening downtown, again, we're kind of in a rural area. It was very progressive protest happening. Very nice to see. So Holt Scotto wouldn't have loved it though. He would have been like the one guy with like the sign that like goes against the grain of everyone else. Or like revving his like pickup truck or something. What kind of car would Holt Scotto drive? He almost doesn't quite give like truck energy. Maybe he drives like a truck with like a topper on the back. That's what I'm picturing. Dwayne Powers himself. Is he a daddy hunk buck? We'll leave him there. I want to know what our thought process was when we put him here, though. Ollie Randall, Freddie's dad. He gives bad. He's daddy. He's pretty daddy. Frank Hardy. And one of my favorite, it's Franklin Rose's voice. He actually kind of makes me blush a little bit. Franklin Rose has like the best male voice in a Nancy Drew game, I think. I could listen to him talk on the phone for the entire game if I had to. Dwayne's voice is Daddy Hunkbuck. Words, words, words. And, of course, Daddy Drew, who would be probably like the reigning father of the Daddy Hunkbucks, other than, Daddy Choco Bucks. Baby bitches. And these are just kind of like, they're just kind of like little bitch energy. You have to have the list. And if you have this list, you have to have poor Ned Nickerson at the top of the list. It's a hard one to hear, but it's true. We have Lisa. Oh, Lisa's a baby bitch. And she has the baby voice to match. She is one of my least favorite characters in Nancy Drew games. Lou Talbot. Anya, I feel like you're the biggest Lou hater out there. He's such a baby bitch. We have Taylor Sinclair from Scarlet Hand. Total baby bitch. Tino Balducci, of course, is on the baby bitch category. Lori Gerard, also from Blue Moon, which I think we're going to have to do a Blue Moon Canyon playthrough. I'm president of the Lou Talbot Hate Club. You are. You are. Like, anytime, like, you get a chance to, like, burn him, you take that chance. Chantal Moik. Moik? What's Chantal from again? I can picture her, but I'm not, like... Nancy... Who's Chantal? Is she the owner? Yeah, she's the whiny owner. There we go. That makes sense. She's the whiny owner from White Wolf, very whiny. I'm thinking about it, and I think these are some of the people from the accidents in White Wolf. Now that I'm like, don't get me started. We could go on. Mason Quinto from Deadly Device. Kind of a like, you look up baby bitch in the dictionary, Mason is probably right next to there. I will mess up his pencils every single chance I get. Scott Varnell from... Is he from Trail of the Twister? I get like he's the one who's always sitting in his chair like this, right? Kind of giving the look. Yeah, I think he's baby bitch. Kit Foley. He's cute, but he is a baby bitch. Hi, Gooba. Welcome in. Happy Saturday. Yeah, he's the grumpy guy. Okay, perfect. We are going through, so we started this list last year when I was streaming the Nancy Drew games, and we created all these different categories for all the Nancy Drew characters, and we continue to add to it as we play the games. So we have Grimm's Baddies, which are like the baddies, kind of badass women. Energy doesn't have to just be women, though. We have our Daddy Hunk Bucks, which is just like that daddy energy. Dave Gregory at the top of the list, naturally. We're on to our Baby Bitches, where, of course, like, Ned's the top of the list. Sorry. I'm a Ned hater, and you have to know that about me. Hi, Rachel. I hope you're having a good Saturday, too. My husband's en route or to Sioux Falls by now. They have, like, the cutest boy day planned. I'm so happy that they did this. His 4 best friends, all of them were in our wedding, live in town with us. And one of our friends, he used to be our roommate. He used to live in Freya. It's now our daughter's room, but he used to live in the room on the other side of the hallway. We'd game up here together. I love our old roommate. We went to, like, Colorado together. It's like a house. It was me and my boyfriend at the time, now husband, and Tyler, our roommate, went on a week-long camping trip through Colorado together. That's the kind of relationship we have. So, but they're going to Sioux Falls today because he's in a pool tournament, and he's a guy, he's got, like, this big red hair and, like, a bigger red beard, and we have this picture of him wearing, like, a teddy bear onesie, and he looks like the lion from Wizard of Oz. And so they're not telling him, but our friend photoshopped a picture of him next to, like, the rest of the Wizard of Oz crew, and they all got T-shirts, and they're going to show up at his pool tournament wearing those T-shirts. He doesn't know about the T-shirts, and they're going to cheer him on. So they're also going to Topgolf today, too, and just, like, doing, like, dude bro things and having a good old boys' time out there, and I'm so happy for him. Which means I dropped my daughter off yesterday for a sleepover at my parents' all weekend, and I have the house to myself, and we're streaming Nancy, and I went thrifting, and it's just been, like, perfect day. Perfect day. I'm lurky while worky, but happy to be here. I hope work's going well for you. We're happy to have you here. I feel like this could also, exactly, where it's like, a couple of these we're like, ooh, are they daddy or are they baddie? Yeah, it could be a Venn diagram. Maybe we'll, like, make a crazy visual at the end of this. We have Izzy Romero is a baby bitch. She is. She's a grifter. Emily Griffin, also on there. Has to be. Emily has potential as a human. She just chooses not to use it. And then, of course, we have Sally McDonald, who's kind of one of the biggest baby bitches of all. I'm not. She's such a flake. I can't believe she did that to Nancy. So I'm trying to get my stream manager up on my phone. It's typically the easiest way to do that. Okay. And lastly, okay, we have Charlena Purcell is also baby bitch. Charlena Purcell from Shadow Ranch, Grimm's Baddie energy. Charlena Purcell that we get in Blue Moon, baby bitch energy. I'll never forgive Her Interactive for doing that to my girl, Charlena Purcell. I was a huge fan of her until Blue Moon. And Larry from White Wolf. Who the heck's Larry? Not even a last name. Larry's on there. The Good People. And these are kind of those, like, special personality types. They're a little on the, the name comes from the Good People from Castle Malloy as Donal Delaney, the head of the Good People Club over here. There's something a little off about them, but, like, you appreciate it. But like, you know, you just there's a little bit of like an alternative reality that they live in a little bit, and you go with it. Denal is the king of that. Joe Hardy over there too. He's our goofy. He's such a golden retriever, dopey boy energy. Carl Weschler from the Bürgermeister from Captive Curse. He's so perfect for this list. This is such a good list. This is such a good category because it perfectly encapsulates so many characters from the series. The good people is people who would be at a psych ward in the 50s, to put it kindly. We should maybe start putting like descriptions next. I'm going to copy and paste that one for now, and I'm going to credit you with the quote. Okay. We don't need it to be there. There we go. Perfect. Yep. We'll continue adding little descriptions to these as we go. Renate, is that how you say your name? I always forget until I like hear it again. Renate's on there, her and her stories, and I know that she's like, she is actually one of the characters that just grates me. And I don't know what it is. Like my personality type is just so opposite of hers. I'm not a Renate fan. They'd institutionalize me for sure in the 50s. Gooba, you'd be on this list. Or Jetpack, sorry, Jetpack, right? I was just reading the first name. You're Jetpack, right? I think so. Sunny June is probably like king of this list, truly. Him and like Denal could like be put in the ring to see who's the top. Rachel and Kim Hubbard, the twins from, also kind of spoiler, but from Waverly Academy. Joanna Riggs, she acts like she's the kind of person who acts like she wouldn't be on this list, but she is 100% on this list. And Jetpack, yep. I figured so. I knew so, but I was just reading Gooba. Gooba's fun to say. But yes, Jetpack. Joanna's, yeah, totally. Oh, yeah. Nope. I remember, but it's, you know, it's just one of those things I was just reading the beginning of the name. Red Knot. He has a hint of daddy. I am not a Red Knot hater, and you will never find me like, I think that there's a group of Nancy Drew fans that dislike him. I am not one of those groups. I am not in that group. Gunnar. There, I think that's the pronunciation for him. 100% on this list. He, very similar energy to, actually, no, Gunnar reminds me of my neighbor. 100% actually. Bess Marvin is on here too. We love Bess, but she hinted daddy from, that's okay, you can judge. There's something about Red Knot, and I think maybe I need to analyze this. I think it's the way he like, I'm going to say this, it's going to come off weird. He's kind of like protective of Nancy in a mean way. I don't know what it is, but it gives, I'm blushing now. It does give daddy energy. I don't hate him, but I would, hold on, I have to scoop my lumbar support thing up because I'm old. You're so brazen. I'm sorry. This is actually brave of me to come out and say. But I know he would ridicule me for having piercings. Yes, 100%. He is not down with what the kids are doing these days. Imagine Red Knot with a group of like Gen Z kids. Oof. He would hate it there. Brave, yeah. The hinted daddy, that's all me. Like, no one else argued to put that there other than me. It's the way he's like meanly protective of Nancy. You guys can judge. It's fine. And then Savannah Woodham is one of those people, and like, I'm like one of those like entertainers of the supernatural. I'm not going to say it's not real, but I've had weird shit happen myself where I'm just like, yeah, I don't know how to explain how that happened in my house. My husband's heard it. It's like my parents' house. It's fine. It's been quiet for years now, but like weird things would happen where it's just like, yeah, I really don't know how to explain that one. We're just gonna, but yeah, Savannah, like she has 2 feet in that, across that threshold. She is in that world, and she will like fight anyone who's a non-believer, I feel like, and she is definitely part of the good people. Ooh, Anya's got some more character list descriptions for us. We've got icons can do no wrong. 100%. Hold on. I'm going to do what I normally do for like things like this where I'm typing, and I want this to be just a smidge smaller. Here we go. Just so I can like easily type these descriptions in. This is how I like to format my sheets when I... Okay, we have Daddy Hunk Bucks. Yummy. Oops. I love these descriptions. Yummy. Go cry in a corner. Anya, just for the record, like all of these will be credited to you. The Moon Lake Rangers and Will remind, that's the best description. Will, they play by the rules. Yep, now that we're to the Moon Lake Rangers, yes, they play by the rules. And they're like, who would be a really good, Mason Quinto could also be an argument for this list. He's just so whiny that he gives baby bitch energy. But yeah, will remind the teacher about the homework. That is the best description. And that brings us to our characters. We have Jeff Akers, who's like the founding father of this group. He's a ranger. Can you blame him? I'm a Jeff Akers apologist. I personally like him, but I just know, Nancy, I don't think she likes him. He's too rigid with the rules, and Nancy's very fluid with rules. Nancy thinks she's a rule follower, but, we know she's not. Nigel Mukherjee from The Curse of Blackmore Manor. 100% on there. Also, very opposite of the good people. He's not a non-believer, but he is like a I'm getting the hell out of here kind of vibe for, if something is happening. I'm always mad that, did they just not want to, deal with his character anymore, the way they just ran him off? I will be always curious about that Her Interactive decision. Jeff Akers is a hottie, but also a snitch. Exactly, and it really docks points. He could be a daddy hunk buck. His personality just grates against that, though. I think Ned would love Jeff, yes. High-key gives me rule follower vibes, 100%. I do think that there's probably a lot of crossovers between Moon Lake Rangers and Baby Bitches a little bit. That's a Venn diagram. We have Corinne Myers from Waverly, our roommate. They did her character dirty. I wanted her to be a likable character. She could have been a really cool, nice roommate that totally no, I don't want to spoil it too hard, but yeah. She's a Moon Lake Ranger. Kyler Mallory, 100% a Moon Lake Ranger. I think there's maybe a better... She's the bride. That's the bride I was talking about earlier from Castle Malloy. There might be a better category for her that doesn't exist yet. I don't like Kyler. I can almost throw her up in the good people, too. Her vibes are off. And Hannah... Isn't this this is her nanny, right? Housekeeper nanny? That's a cute place for her to go. Right? That's her house / stand-in mother a little bit. I love that Nancy, she doesn't have the classic family structure at home, but I'm so happy she has that mother figure. And she can't check that off. What did we... I don't know. Oops. There we go. I could not have come up with better descriptions. This is it. Well done, Anya. Well done. I need to throw your name after all these because the greatness that you just cooked up will not go unnoticed by anyone. Okay. My tarot cards can't. And these are those ones where it's I think when we made this category, we said that there's a big range for these characters to go into. They're multi-category characters and therefore just a really hard one to pin. Big Brain, you are popping off today. Andy Jason, I think, is a really good candidate for this category. Because, like, I'm going to say something else that's going to embarrass me. I'm so happy sometimes I stop myself from saying things as I'm thinking them. Because I was almost going to say, sorry, is my mic too loud? I was almost going to say, no, he doesn't have Daddy Hunkbuck energy. I'm being crazy now. Couldn't find any Larry from Ice. Did we? Yeah. And why would, exactly, who is Larry and why would he be a baby bitch? Was he like a mention in the journal or something? That's all I can think of is like, was he like mentioned in text somewhere at some point? Was he the boyfriend? Was he Elsa's like, he maybe was the boyfriend who was like writing those really embarrassing letters to Elsa or something and like begging, like just like being a total simp or something like that. I think that's who he is. Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay. That was... Okay, perfect. I was like, that's such a, like, mean category to put a random, like, nobody into. Also, do I need this light today? It's kind of nice and bright in here, so I don't think so. No, we don't need the light today. That's for rainy days. Especially if we're playing Crystal Skull. Okay, Soren, who has, like, one of the coolest names ever. I love his name. I think I do need to turn my mic down just, like, a smidge. It's just going into the red, and I don't want it to, like, be annoying for you guys to listen to. Let me know if my mic sounds okay. I'm still confused. I know. My only thing I can think of is she was, like, one of the injured people that Chantal did not want to get sued by. That's all I can think of, though, is she was just a phone contact. And Matt Simmons. Who are you? He's the husband. He's the groom. Yeah, that's a good category for him just because you meet him at such a... I think we almost put him in baby bitch category. I think we almost put him in baby bitch category because, like, Andy could go there too. Thank you guys for letting that comment about Andy potentially having daddy energy slide. He kind of has baddie energy, though. Just, like, the operation he's running, like, obviously, like, F you for what you're doing, but, like, respect for being up that high and, like, having such a, like, insane undercover persona, being, like, a random whale museum curator, manager. Who knows? Oh, thank you. I don't think it's daddy energy. I think it's baddie energy. He's a man in charge, you know? He's a guy in charge. Yeah, she has to be like a phone contact or anything. So that's the end of our list so far. I think we had another list somewhere going, but at the end of this, we should start like a Nancy Drew like tier list. I would love to make my own tier rating of the games. Sorry, I have like a huge hangnail. Andy Jason gives me nerd boyfriend vibes minus the villain stuff. Okay. See? I'm not completely wrong in that. I'm not the only one that thinks that. Also, quick round of applause before we move on. Round of applause for Her Interactive for creating such a diverse cast of characters for this series. And, oh, sorry, I just had, like, air come up through my throat. Anyways, we wouldn't have this list without them, obviously, but just what a rich franchise. Maybe, yeah. What a rich franchise we get to be a part of. I love it. Imagine if Andy painted Warhammer figurines instead of an evil smuggling plot. And put up about whales, and I would be sad, right? All right, we love a man with a hyperfixation. What can we say? All right, so list is done. That is such a good list. That's like, you know those like pieces of media that like aren't meant for like enjoyment reading, but you like reading them anyways? Like mine's a menu. I love reading menus like a book. this is like one of those lists that like applies to that category. Have you ever played Mid? I have. What do we think about Mid? Because I know that there's like, I think if you're like a newer fan of the series, I know that like newer fans are like more open to that game. I think older fans in general, and I'm saying like the ones who've been playing since like childhood, or like got into them in like, preteens around there. Okay, okay, that's a good point, Rachel. Does Olivia have a last name? Where is she? Where'd she go? Did we just take her off? Because it was like Olivia Dorfman. Yep, Ravenscroft. Yep. I don't know which one. She actually might be a can't check that off. Like if and when we get to her, she might be a can't check that off yet. Because I could like put her in the Good People. I could put her in Moon Lake Rangers. I could put her in Baby Bitches. Moon Lake Rangers, maybe. She seems like she'd remind the teacher about the homework just because she knew Stacy across the classroom that she doesn't like didn't do the homework because she heard her talking about it at lunch and wants her to get in trouble. That's the energy that Olivia has. Yeah, it was okay. Olivia Dorfman. Yeah, all I can think is that she's like a phone character from one of the injured people that you have to call and like ask about, like, the one who ate like what, rotten mayonnaise or something, or I don't know, slipped on the steps. Is defo Good People for sure. Good People. But there are like, I don't like Olivia very much as a character. She was so annoying. Speaking of building Nancy Drew houses in Sims, because that's one of my favorite things to do. And we weren't speaking of it. I'm just bringing it up from like a previous stream where I talked about this. I did make, who's the girl that lives in like the carriage house right next to, she owns like the really cool tea shop in town. I'm blanking on her name. I just had it in my head a second ago and now it's gone. But she's rad. She's super rad. I like her character, but I love that little carriage house. I remade that in The Sims. And then I was going to make like the whole, burnt down mansion too, but never got to it. All right. Shall we play our game? Lauren, thank you. Yep, Lauren. That was not the name I was thinking of, though. I don't know who I was thinking of. It was Lauren is the correct name, but I was not thinking of the name Lauren. Actually, okay, so this is going to be a dark screen, and usually, like, a lighter game would light up my face. Oh my gosh, this is just so bright. There, that is better. That light does work. I think I got it for like $20. I used to have behind my desk, so my room used to be like kind of flipped, where this was like a vanity desk when I was super into makeup. It was like 2018, 2016. Like this used to be like my makeup chest next to me, and like I had like a whole vanity. I did it for super cheap, and like I made my own like vanity mirror for super cheap. But yeah, this used to be like a vanity area, and then behind me, this was a TV stand for my like Xbox and TV, and then I had like a chair that I'd like game in. So it was my glam and game room back in the day, fun fact. So I had this like wonderful, when I put my PC here, I kept this wonderful mirror behind because it had like the best lighting ever when I was like working. I had like a remote job for a while. I was doing like distance learning for a while when COVID hit and I was teaching. It was like the best lighting ever because it was soft light, but it just like illuminated so well. But it just like, it was kind of an eyesore behind it just didn't make sense behind my PC. And as I got more into like PC gaming and was featuring it on my pages and stuff, I was like, that thing has to go. It does. I just need to make this like a very intentional, like decorated space. So I got this little light to compensate because I just don't have good lighting here now. And it was like $20 on Amazon. It works great. I see some people who do like the big ring light thing, and there was a while where I had like my like phone tripod ring light hooked up behind here, but it was just so cluttered and didn't fit, and this was worth the $20 purchase. And it like stays charged forever, and it's super, you can bring it anywhere. I think I'll even like use it on my new phone tripod when I'm like recording too if I just need some extra light. Anyways, how long have we been? Over an hour? And we can do this the rest of the day if we want. I have no plans. Other than I'm going to eat some leftover pizza later. I'm going to play some Inzoi. All right. I'm going to load up Legend of the Crystal Skull and see if I can run it without that program. I'm going to look for that program one more time. That is such a bummer. Okay, I'm going to look one more place because I just don't know where it would have gone. It's such an elusive little program. It doesn't want you to use it, truly. Okay. I don't think it's in here. I think it's just... It's one of the... It kind of scares me because I'm like... I don't like installing something on my computer that can just like hide from me. That doesn't feel safe. So far it's been a fine program. It's just like, it's a very basic little program, but like, I just don't understand where it goes. Speaking of Caleb, if you're still here and listening, I think we're gonna start doing some more GTA soon. I removed it after I installed it, but like for some reason, like yeah, it's not in my downloads anymore. I definitely deleted that thing. I think I was keeping it there for a while just because there was another time I had to like reinstall it, but it should be fine. I'm pretty sure I can run this game. I'll just have to like minimize it if I click over to this screen, which I shouldn't have to do unless we like pause. Let's do an ad roll real quick, just so we can get that out of the way. So go grab your snackies, go, hit up the bathroom if you need to. I might do that myself real quick. I'm just going to be right back until it's done. And yeah, I will see you guys in 1 minute-ish. All right, and here, well, let's just go to the screen first. I'll find it first, and then we should be good. We are playing Legend. For those just coming in, we are playing Nancy Drew Legend of the Crystal Skull. Probably like a solid B tier game for me now that I'm thinking about like tier rankings for the Nancy Drew games. I think it's like it's not A. I feel like A is a little too high for it in my opinion. But I do think B tier, it might be a B tier game. If you have arguments against that, like why you think it should be higher or lower, I'm so open to hearing that. And I think what puts it in B tier for me is the fact that it's a scavenger game. A big part of like solving the mystery relies upon finding like 32 eyeballs, I think, which is kind of it's a fun scavenger hunt to do, but it's not my favorite style to play for a mystery game. There's like 2 or 3 Nancy Drew games that kind of follow that format, and it's fun, but it feels like a little too easy for like a plot. I think that's what it is. So let's hope this like works. Beautiful, look at that. Beautiful, hold on. We're missing something important.
Here's my center of
We're missing this.
my desk.
Look at that! Of course we'll have a look. And we are missing my Nancy notes, as my husband calls them. Let me know how volumes are. I can turn things up, I can turn things down. I did not have time yet to look into 2 things I was looking into for the next stream. I said, we have a Lucy sighting. Hi, honey. She saw me grab a piece of pizza, and now she's like, do you want to share? I don't, Lucy, I'm sorry. I try not to give you human food very often. She's very picky, too. Like, if I do give her human food, she's a crispy, cheesy girl. So she likes, like, like, it has to be, like, dry, nearly flavorless. Like, a Cheez-It is, like, perfect, but not, like, a flavor blast. Goldfish, you know? Can't be too cheesy. Nola yes, it has such potential for the game. Location, it kind of feels like the eyes are a little bit... It adds fluff, yeah, where it's just, like... I don't really feel like I'm getting, like, nitty-gritty into the mystery. I feel like I'm just... They're like, oh, we're just going to make a game about finding, you know, things this time. It just feels excessive, I think. 12 or 13 would have been fine, but 32 is insane. Now, how it's done in, like, Blue Moon Canyon, where you're finding the dolls on the train, I love that part. I love that part. That was a fun scavenger hunt. This one's, yeah, excessive. Some of the puzzles are just go here, now go there. The cemetery puzzle. I'm really dreading that one, but I'm hoping we can bang it out today. I'm going to be eating a piece of pizza on stream, so I'm going to try not to be too close to the mic because I know some people hate that. Best pizza. Pan pizza from Domino's. Pan pizza in general, very good. Black olives and pineapple. Pineapple does belong on pizza. Atmosphere is top tier, and, like, I get the raininess, I get that. I'm happy we get, like, a smidge of the French Quarter, but I would have loved... like, slightly more location. The cemetery makes sense, but I would love, like, one more location to kind of go through. Just came back from getting snacks, but yes, agree 100%. It's a comfort game for me because it's, like, the best game to play on a, like, super rainy, stormy day. You'll catch me playing this game. It's such a comfort game for that reason. So that's why it feels like it should be an A-tier game, but it's not quite there. The gameplay is a little too simple. I feel like they didn't, like... put their all into this one. All right, so we just discovered the secret passage in the sitting room, parlor, main room, in the house. And again, I apologize for how dark this is. I can't do much about it either. They literally, and again, it kind of feels like almost a cop-out at first. They literally tell you at the beginning, like, this game is best to be played in a dark room, close the curtains and shut off the lights, and it's like... There's dark, but then there's, like, media dark where it's still playable, it's still seeable. It's the difference between, like, the night scenes in Lord of the Rings versus, it's the last season of Game of Thrones when the White Walkers attack, and it's like incredibly dark, and like I appreciate it because it made it spooky, but like some things were just like from a media sense too dark to enjoy. Would Nancy qualify as a bug? We have not been. That's what I was actually thinking about this last stream. We have not been updating Nancy's resume for Legend of the Crystal Skull. We kind of slowed down. I'm looking back at Shadow Ranch real quick. I think we probably will revisit it, but we definitely need to add something about like not archaeology, but like paleontology. No, paleontology. No. The way that she's like scavenging around in the mountains for like historic symbols and, you know, ancient, you know, findings and stuff. I think that one needs yeah, it's too dark. And I feel like they realized it after the fact. And instead of like going back to fix it, they're just like, just play it in a dark room. It'll be fine. But yeah, we definitely have to add to the Shadow Ranch resume. Let me make a spot for the Crystal Skull resume, because we have not added anything. So yeah, Bug Experimenter. There's like, who's someone that like, entomology, isn't it? Entomologist. I feel like that would apply to her more in Kapu Cave though. But Bug Exterminator, not quite though, because she doesn't kill them. Almost like a beekeeper, but wasps. I'm going to put Experimenter because I really don't know what to call that either. Baker, because of the cake, and Shadow Ranch. Thank you. You hit like we hit a whole bunch. She's a delivery girl, ranch hand, botanist, cooper, lumberjack, cowgirl, barrel racer, tack manager, and baker in Shadow Ranch. Archaeologist fits. Okay. I was feeling like it was like almost a little too specific, but for what she was doing. And she's probably going to earn that skill at some point in her travels anyway. So Bug Experimenter. She really hasn't done like much else though. I don't know. I feel like this is not a ripe game for Nancy resume adding. So we fished this key from the scary ass spider in the garden. Yes, that is very archaeologist of her to do. So I do think that does fit. Okay, and my favorite thing in Nancy Drew games, just discovered a secret room. A Nancy Drew game cannot be in the A or S tier for me unless there is a secret room. There has to be a secret passage or a secret room. I think the majority of the games have them. It doesn't mean it's going to be an S or A tier game. I'm just saying, like, in order for me to categorize it as that high on the list, I have to have a secret location that I find. Wait. What just happened here? Did that not open? I must have clicked too far over. Okay. Have a look around while I eat. Cold pizza is so good. Where did we come in from? Actually, how do we get in here? Because that must be the secret wall. Okay. Lucy, you can't have. She's like trying to fish it off my desk right now. Lucy. Okay. Let's look around. Of course, we'll have a look. CCCD. I should be writing this down. Okay, so middle C. Was that 3 middle C's, I think? And then D. Thank you. Thank you for that. And it did pop. Okay, sound alerts do pop up through here. I think it's just like water sips and stuff like that. I probably need to make like a specific alert for that. So E. 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 D. Middle C. D. E. C. Okay. That actually, I was not looking. Ew. Okay, so have that written down. Pretty sure I have to use that at some point. Anytime you see the little red text pop up at the bottom of a Her Interactive game, worth writing down. I thought that was like an eyeball at first. I was not expecting Nancy Drew to eat it. Pretty sure there is something we have to put in there to get an actual eyeball. That's where we came in. Oops. Oh. Hold on. Is this where we use what we got from... Also, sorry for putting a spell on you probably in my TikTok comments, Anya. I had to respond with that. Okay, so this is where we had to translate the hoodoo on the wall in Renee's room. Do we put that in here? Would that make sense? I don't know why that would be like the combination for this and what that connection is, but it has to be like barely chewable. The fact that the gum is still chewable is insane and really gross. It's like rock hard on the outside, and I know Nancy nearly like cracked a tooth trying to get into that, but Nancy's commitment to sugar in this game is paramount. It's yeah. How she said she only had 6 Cocoa Kringles. I think that is like the understatement of the century. Okay, so we have Bazalu. Padimika. Oh, do we not have a me on here? Did I write something down wrong? Oh, it must be, I think it's actually Mu because it's circular. Muka. Was that, okay, did I not do that right? Hold on. Is chocolate addict appropriate to have on a resume? Candy taste tester. Nancy would call herself that. Okay, so it was Bazalupa di Muka. I don't want your eyeball. It's gross too. Like, it could be anything but eyeballs. That is so icky. That has to be the coin we put in. Ooh. I was excited for this until I figured out what it was. Cruel joke. So the cemetery puzzle is upon us, unfortunately. I gotta chew this one over with a piece of pizza. Here we go. Trying not to talk with, food in my mouth, but your girl's a little hungry. All right, so we have this little, has to be it. Don't eat it, Nancy. Nancy would crack her tooth on that. We only have 6 eyeballs, and like I said, I'm pretty sure the number is 32 that we have to hit. All right, take a peek at the desk. Ooh. Ooh, isn't this like today or something? Or no. We're going to get to the date.
May 31st? That's today.
I love that. I love when that happens in a game. We were close. Has anyone... I've heard so many people that are like, I coincidentally played this game on May 31st and I thought the game was like effing with me. And like it reset itself to the date that it currently was. And someone's like, it really threw me off. I think that was in like a Nancy Drew Facebook group at one point. All right, so we need to tell Bess. This looks like one of the somewhere to be. That the notes are Scuttled Bones and Rampart. This is where she's staying, isn't it? And this must be like a secret passcode or something. Oh yeah, we have to catch the eyeball when it's out. This is a fun little mechanic. Got it. All right, we have Short Stories for Tired Eyes. Did that say by Bruno Bollet? What a man of like many talents here. Dentist. Wrote a whole... Did I just steal that? Nancy Pocket. She's like, souvenir. Short Stories for Tired Eyes by Bruno Bollet, dedicated to those who hear the whisper. Ooh. Table of contents. I think this game kind of relies on like the lore of the Crystal Skull heavily too, just to like make it interesting. Love it for a concept. In fact, I know so many people hated like the fourth Indiana Jones movie, The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I loved that movie. I loved that movie probably because of this game. Any like Crystal Skull kind of legend themed thing, I just love it. There are not many things I dislike to consume. I told you guys earlier, I got War of the Worlds, the movie today, because it's unironically one of my favorite movies. I will probably watch it tonight, honestly, and scare... I just find the aliens so I feel it in my chest how terrifying they are when the sound that they make, the trumpet sound that they make when they like are about to start vaporizing everything. That's a horror movie to me. I love that movie. Okay, so table of contents, Time Will Tell, A Librarian's Tale, History of Quincy T. Booker's Teeth, Steps in the Right Direction. This is giving Ransom of the Seven Ships too. I feel like they did similar things where they like wrote a bunch of puzzles into a book like this. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Key to the Statues. The statues are key. That one feels like a slap in the face. Obvious clue. Plentiful Pirates and Nautical Nonsense. I also got Pirates of the Caribbean. And I have been I think those movies have been super romanticized on TikTok as of late. I've been craving a rewatch, and I refuse to get Disney Plus. Again, we've been talking about this. This has been like our theme of the week is media preservation and just like owning your media. Also, especially with like the new Switch coming out, how games are just like only digital now. Even if you like buy them, like the physical copy, you still have it's access to a download online. Yep, Anya's here with it. The physical media supremacy. We're coming back. Power to the people. Yeah, that's just, it feels like, I follow this subreddit called like Boring Dystopia, and it's things that feel dystopian, but it's not like end times dramatic dystopian. It's just like boring signs of a dystopic world. And it feels like one of those things where like you buy a physical copy of a game only to have to download it online. And coming from like back in the day, and like I can't believe this dates me now. Back in the day, like all you had to do, like the wait time when you got home was, I'm like thinking about like my physical copies of like Sims here when I'd like go buy them from Walmart. These are my Sims 3 copies. And get home and you just had to download or you just had to like install the game and you were ready to go. Like all my childhood games were that way. You installed it and like there was no internet needed. There was no download needed. Maybe an update, like as games started like getting updates. I don't really think that was a thing when I was younger. If I asked my mom for a $90 game growing up, and that's like I have been saying for years, and I feel like I've walked into this trap. I have been saying for years, for as much as prices have changed since, like, in the last, like, 20 years, it's so crazy for someone to, like, say, you bought something for this much money for $15 in 2003, 2004, and today it would be, like, $30 is crazy to me. But it's true, like, that's how much things have inflated and, currencies changed over time. But the fact that games have stayed at $60 for as long as they have has actually been surprising to me. Recently, they've kind of jumped up to $70. Sometimes that comes with like extra stuff, but I feel like $60 is still that baseline for like a AAA style game. $90 is effing crazy. $90 is effing crazy. And yeah, like it makes me feel so bad for kids because that's like a go-to Christmas gift. It's a bigger, families are all different financially, stuff like that, but like for Christmas growing up, we'd ask for like a video game and like we'd get like some clothes, like, and like a few other things. Rarely would we get like, especially personally, we wouldn't get like a console just for ourselves. That would be like a family gift, but like $60 was askable. I feel like for, a wider range of people, 90 is crazy. I'm thinking like as a mother now, like if my daughter asked me for a $90 game, I'd be like, I really want to get that for you, but that's a crazy price tag. Yeah, Switch out of control. There's a reason why I only have like 5 Switch games because even with the OG Switch, they are so expensive. And like then they do like the add-on things. That's actually I like Nintendo because they're constantly doing their own thing. But at the same time, because they have exclusives and whatnot, it's so they can price things the way that they want. It's really frustrating. And they almost never go on sale, at least the good ones. You're not going to get, a big Nintendo game for that. It's asking too much. What do we think of the console prices? Isn't it $450? Is that crazy? And the issue now is with the tariffs going into place in the United States, I think starting May 2nd. If there are anything overseas, if you're US based, if there are like even like a keyboard or something. I love Osume Keys. They're a Japan-based keyboard company, and they make beautiful keyboards. And they're like higher end keyboards, and I have just been thinking about getting them forever. Like years now I've been following them. I feel like now is like if I don't want to have to like, pay for crazy tariffs, like I have to get it in the next month. And they're like posting about this too. Like now is the time to make your overseas purchases because things are about to go crazy in the US for that. When I bought my Switch, my dad bought me Minecraft with it, and it was like $40 for Minecraft. I remember when Minecraft was, again, dating myself, it was in beta still, and we got it for free. Or like when you got it was like 10, $15 or something like that in like late 2000s. I want to say, is that the right timeline? I remember my brother installing it on my cousin's computer because when it was free so that they could play it. It is wild how constant games have been. Yes, and like, again, I feel like I jinxed it, and now they're like, wait, you thought 60 was cheap? Well, let's bump it up. Let's get you spending more money here, girl. But it's one thing that actually brought me a lot of comfort in the gaming community, knowing that, and I think movies for the most part can kind of like, they're usually between like $10, $20 range, of course, depending on how old they are. I just remember movies like when they'd come out from theaters for the first time were typically around $20. So it's just been a really nice thing that we prioritized keeping media at a very stable price range. The worst thing is Nintendo is such a big part of the gaming that other companies are definitely going to follow suit. They are, and I feel like there's such a young fan base that follows like that is very Nintendo Switch based. They're just very like kid friendly devices and games. It just makes that so much less attainable for young gamers. setting the new standard for what prices are going to look like moving forward, which I'm okay with paying your workers. Well, exactly, but something that's telling me it's not what the extra money is going for. They're doing it because they can, is how it feels. Switch Online is my biggest enemy. Why am I paying $20 a year so I can access like online codes from Animal Crossing? That's the only thing I've ever used it for. Why are we paying for online access in video games at all? That's insane to me. Didn't like Xbox did away with that years ago. I think PlayStation has almost always been free, PlayStation Online, but Xbox Live, I remember you used to have to spend, what was it? I remember you could get a card for $60 for the entire year. And, like, again, that was something we could ask for Christmas, and we had a year's worth of gaming online for our friends, and it could be a recurring gift if we needed. But it's one of those things where, like, that's literally one of the biggest parts of games is online multiplayer, like, in the gaming industry. Why do I have to pay for extra access to play COD online or Halo online or... Yeah, that's always been criminal to me. Isn't Elden Ring? Yeah, it should. I think it's still like 60. I've been watching it. My husband has it on his wish list because his thing is like he almost never buys a brand new game. I think Baldur's Gate was the first new game he's gotten in like at least half a decade. He likes, games to work out their kinks first, fix bugs, and then he'll wait for like a good Steam sale. And I think he's still waiting for like that one to like drop real low. Yeah, and it's like 3 years old. Yeah, and that one won't. He's like, that one won't go down. He can't find God of War on a good sale price. Yeah, it's like, I don't even think Red Dead. I think I got Red Dead for $12 on sale. That game's what, 4 years old now? No. Don't tell me that game's 6 years old. That actually makes me want to puke a little bit. That game's over half a decade old. Over half a decade. That's still like the top tier gaming experience for me. Anyways, the way Nintendo would make so much money if they actually made the console packs, Nintendo 64, yep, into actual games you could buy. 100%. 100%. Or like DS games? Are those somewhat ported to Switch, or is that not a thing? I still have my DS. Will never get rid of it. I still have all of my games. I have like a Nancy Drew game on there. I'm saving that for my daughter. It's like in my drawer over here. I'm saving all of my old consoles. I'm saving for our kids basically, which in today's, gaming economy, I really value that. So, all right. No, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm so happy we're talking about it and that it's motivating me to just like focus more on it because it's something I've like dabbled in through the years. Obviously, as a gamer, you just kind of like naturally become a collector a little bit sometimes, it feels like. So it's just always kind of a natural instinct for me to hang on to these things and, keep these things. But the more I realize I don't own anything if it's a digital copy, the more I'm, prioritizing getting it in a way that I can literally have it forever. All right. Are we reading all of this? We should, because time will tell. This is the one where, okay. Yep, all of this is puzzle stuff. Again, not my favorite way for Nancy Drew games to operate. Am I talking myself out of liking this game? At exactly midday, the teacher said to his class, "What time will it be when 3 hours have passed? Let's pretend it's the time and move ahead 2 hours more. And from there, let's say that it's 9 hours before." So 6, so wouldn't that still be like 9 a.m.? So midday plus 3 hours is 3 o'clock. 2 hours more is 5. I need to like look at my clock for, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8 a.m. If 6 hours before then we'd made a note of the time, so 2 a.m., what time would it be if we'd moved ahead 9 is 11? And his students wrote down 6 numbers, and also, should I write down all of those numbers? Probably. Then went back to their daydreams of things big and small. Is this an end result? Okay, we're just going to... Part 1. I'm going to just title this The Book. I'm sorry, guys. This is going to be a very read aloud heavy and puzzle solvey part of the stream. And then we're going to have a really walk heavy and read heavy part of the stream as we do the cemetery puzzle. And flippy pagey heavy too, if once we get to the directory of the cemetery. Okay, so part 1. The book. Time will tell. Part 1. Okay, so at exactly midday, we start with 12 to 3 hours have passed to 3 to 5 to 9 hours before 5 is 8 to 6 hours before then is 2. If I'm doing horrible math at any point, please clown me in the comments for it. I can so assuredly say things out loud sometimes and just be so wrong about it. And I think my husband actually likes that about me because he finds it endearing. But if I'm like so wrong about something, please just let a girl know. So we have 2. Make a note of the time. What time would it be if we moved ahead? 9 is going to be 11 as the final number. So I wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers as well. Then went back to their daydreams of things big and small, which I would also like to pat myself on the back from a math standpoint. I'm not that terrible at math. I can just be a little scatterbrained sometimes. My favorite way when I was waitressing, I waitressed for 11 years at a cafe in my really small town, and it's still like one of my favorite, most wholesome jobs I've ever worked. Like the absolute stereotypical like small town coffee hour type place. Loved it. I knew everything about everyone in town. I was in with all the old people. They adored me. Good times. But it was very old school how it was run. There was no like we don't even like take like credit cards or anything, or we didn't back then. It's since been like sold and it's been sold. My old bosses are enjoying their retirement now, but it's been rebranded and stuff. But everything was like done old school. Like there was no receipt system where you just like punched everything in and it printed out the receipt. There was no online systems. We didn't do credit cards. We didn't do debit cards. Like it was like cash or check, and we wrote out the receipts ourselves. It was like, you know, your receipt was the thing I wrote your order down on and put back in the kitchen. It would come back to you greasy. But we did have a like punch calculator on the counter to use for adding up the checks. I would only ever do long addition for it, and it kept my brain so sharp. I loved adding up checks because it just felt like little like mental brain games each time. That's what this puzzle is reminding me of. But the subtraction throws me off. I'm just so addition minded because of that. Anyways, part 2. At high noon, the sheriff stepped into the street and addressed Badman Bart. 5 hours ago. Okay, so part 2 is going to start also at 12, it sounds like. $12. 5 hours ago is going to be 7. I told you, this feels like elementary math problems. Did they just really put a worksheet into this book and say, here, damn, here's your puzzle? It's giving elementary to middle school math. It's giving late elementary math, actually. Okay. 5 hours ago, I told you to leave town, and you swore you'd be gone in 3. Is there a reason why you're still here? Do we have to write that number down, too? Swore you'd be gone in 3. So 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to write 10 down and just, oops. There we go. Left right when I said I would, Bart exclaimed, but just as I was riding out, my horse threw a shoe. I took him straight to the blacksmith, but he was real busy. Said it would be 5 hours till he finished with my horse at 10, plus 5 hours is going to be, wait, 10, 11, 12, 3. I'm such an analog clock person too. Visually, I don't know if this is an ADHD thing. I've been diagnosed since I was like 17. Fun fact. But I don't know if it's an ADHD thing and like time management and stuff like that. But I so prefer an analog clock as opposed to like digital. I like digital because, you know, precise. But analog clocks I love because I feel like visually I can see like the chunk of time I have until an event. And that just like I'm able to organize my day within that visual better than just like looking at numbers on a screen. Is anyone else that way or like preference? I've always loved an analog clock. I try and have one in like every room, especially if it's a room I get ready in because it keeps me really on task. Okay, so threw a shoe and it said it'd be 5 hours till he finished with my horse. That's a crazy time. I know he's busy, but like that's crazy. That was the business to be in back then. Has anyone ever been on Farrier Talk? That like if I ever start a new business that I have no business being in, I would start a farrier business where you reshoe horses basically. But I would like spin it and be like a horse like manicurist and like make it all like cutesy and, you know, girly. Anyways, better tell him to get a move on, the sheriff drawled, because 2 hours from now, if you're still here, you're going to be real sorry, understand? So 2 hours from now is going to be 2, actually, because it's currently noon. Who is that one creator? Nate the Hoof Guy. I think there's several. I have a preference because I've seen like Cow. It wouldn't be farrier because cows don't get shoes, but like when they have like infected hooves and stuff, I don't like that one as much. Those ones kind of like give me the willies. I'm happy the cows are feeling better, but I just don't love watching the journey to get there. But there's just one guy. I love the horse reshoeings. That has to be a satisfying job. That has to be a satisfying job. Yeah, but I know that I definitely like follow like a couple. Horses are my like special interest. But yeah, I definitely follow a couple of them. I think there's like a good number on there, but I love watching that. And it's one of those videos that you can smell through the phone. One of my favorite smells is like a stable, not like just livestock, but like horse stable specifically. It's that manure / like sweet hay smell. It's pungent, but it is one of my like favorite smells in the world. It's such a good smell. And all those videos like stir up those smell memories for me, and I just know it smells good there. Better tell him to... Okay, so we are at 2. Bart understood. He went back to the blacksmith, and an hour later was on his way. So we had a little 3, 2, 1. Because I'll give you 2 hours. Okay. So we have 12, 7, 10, 3, 2, 1. Part 3. I'm going to take a bite of my pizza, and we can just read it. Well, we'll read it now because I have to write down numbers anyways. I was like, we can just like silently read it together, but that won't work. So it was midnight. We are at 12 again. On a dark and stormy night, only 4 hours before, so 8, I had seen my dear friend Hollis, who informed me he was leaving for the court of the Star Chamber in a mere 2 hours. 10. And feared he would never return. I realized that 6 hours after he was to enter the chamber, so 4, right? 4. I was to surrender myself to Count Blackburn. I had no way of knowing whether after the usual 5 hours. Wait. This is a bad spot for a page break of it. Okay. After the usual 5 hours of interrogation. So if he is supposed to, time-wise, this isn't making sense. Why would he be interrogated at 4 in the morning? So it was midnight on a dark and stormy night, only 4 hours before, so 8 p.m. I had seen my dear friend Hollis, who informed me he was leaving for the Court of the Star Chamber in a mere 2 hours, 10 p.m., and feared he would never return. I realized that 6 hours after he was to enter the chamber, or leave for the chamber? I think we're going to 4 a.m. I was to surrender myself to Count Blackburn. I had no way of knowing whether after the usual 5 hours of interrogation, so 9 a.m., I would be able to keep my rendezvous with Lucretia 2 hours later. Good for you. 11. Would the Count let me leave, or would he imprison me forever? I was terrified. What a story. All right, A Librarian's Tale. So I'm assuming from both vague memory and just context clues, this is going to be a little library scavenger hunt. A great keeper of books, it's true, am I. Many a reader through me can spy on wondrous worlds that will never die. You could say it's magic, the librarian's eye, but to get such an eye, you must first take a look at the cards that keep track of every book. The title's the thing, addition's the hook that will let you remove the orb from its nook. Bro was just up here writing up a storm. Okay, so library card records in that one file cabinet. Obviously, librarian's eyeball is what we're gonna find. Librarian. I'm just kind of like writing down a note for each. I should make this into a checklist, actually. I think I'm gonna do that, so that I can check off each like chapter as we solve the puzzle included with each one. Okay, cards in drawer, I'm pretty sure. And then title's the thing, addition's the hook. I know we get to bring this with us, but it's just so easier to cross-reference if things are on paper in front of you. Additions. The hook. This is going to be another puzzle that just like stumps me, and it's the easiest thing. That will let you remove the orb from its nook. I'm guessing that's like eyeball from its little hiding space, but yeah, we'll just write that down for the hint. Okay. The history of Quincy T. Booker's teeth. So this, I believe, also relates to in the library, the books where they're like, there's like 2 rows on the left and 2 rows on the right, and they like represent teeth. And we have to use this plus the teeth figure on the wall in here to put everything together for that one. Let's get started. So Quincy T. Booker's teeth is this one. Sorry guys, this is a lot of writing. In fact, I might run an ad real quick. I'm just going to be writing down stuff from, I'm just going to be writing down teeth, basically. So I'm going to run an ad real quick, and that way we can get that out of the way for us. Can I? Can I not? Did one roll already? Is it rolling currently? Never mind. It rolled a little bit ago. Never mind. Teeth. I'm just going to be writing down teeth. I'm going to take a bite of pizza and write this down, though. So indulge in your snack real quick, or if you have a, drink nearby. Primary teeth. Let me make that note. So those are going to be like the baby teeth chart. We have to use both baby and adult teeth charts. Okay. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Extracted lower right canine. So L, R, canine. Upper left first bicuspid. U, L. First. Isn't bicuspid also bicuspid? Isn't that like a valve in your heart? Extracted lower left canine. I'm so scared I'm like writing all these directions wrong. Okay. And lower left third LL third molar. And these are all permanent teeth. Also, I learned, I don't know if this is like one of those things that was just common knowledge, because like for my husband it was, but for me I just don't know if I ever learned this. You're not born with your permanent teeth. I always thought that like your permanent teeth were just all chilling up here, and then like your baby teeth came in and then the permanents pushed them out, and that's still like kind of how it works, but no, you make your permanent teeth at some point during your childhood, and when they're ready they pop out, I guess. I think. God, quote me if I'm wrong for that, but no. So yeah, it was our daughter's teething and, you know, getting teeth. She's up to like 7 or something now, I think. You also get your molars really early. She already has a molar and she's like 15 months old, I think. I always thought those ones came like way later, but nope. So she is chomping stuff. Okay. Steps in the right direction. In a place where bones... Whoops. Hold on. I need to click one thing over here. There. In a place where bones are buried, so is something too that you seek. Start where Charlie Wicker sleeps. Tread lightly on the ground that sinks and seeps. Charlie will give you directions, but count on my shovel to find the way. Which, I think we have all the directions written down. Yes, because there was a clue we found with like the west, north, east, south, and then Charlie Wicker is the clue. So have that written down with a shovel already. Charlie will give you directions, but count on my shovel to find the way. When you find the place, a monumental task awaits. And I think like we get a special shovel and it like tells us how many spaces like once we get to the right thing. So that one I'm going to write down, but I'm just going to put find shovel for that one's task. And use directions, steps in the right direction. And Charlie Wicker's grave. What a name. Okay. The key to the statues are key. I hate this puzzle. Yep, it's the little like bird feather things. This one's, I think I almost always look up the solution for this one because I get so frustrated with it. So, avian statues hide, secrets bound. Mechanical feathers from metal were pound. Wires and springs and levers were wound. As levers are pulled, solutions compound. A feather stands up, another falls down. If you won't need to peek if you listen to sound. Inside this drawing, a solution is found. Master of buzzards drops key to the ground. Okay. So this one, and I will double check just to make sure we have all the right number of puzzles written down. I'm just going to call key to the statues. And the goal is to make all the feathers go up and down, or straight up and then to the left. Put feathers into positions using sounds. Okay. Plentiful pirates, I think this is the last one, and nautical nonsense. Stealthily stalking them, famished and anxious, out hunting west waters, he was cantankerous. Out here were the sea-stricken pirates of plenty. A week's worth of looting left their large stomachs empty. Down to the port we'll plunder some dinner, but the truth is that these pirates could have been thinner. Their villainous vessel was bogged down by booty. They would drop off the treasure and away they'd be scooting. I'm losing steam with this book. They would foul up the village and make a great mess. Down to the mangroves they'd surely digress. Ah, it's a beastie. Swim for your lives. The calm sea's treachery left a surprise. A long-legged beastie whose eyes were aglow had spotted some treasure in the hold down below, and his curious nature would not let it go. So he tore down the hull, and alarmed with the pirates, he started to break down the structures inside it. His nautical naughtiness knocked down the ship. Those petrified pirates were muddled and miffed. So they fired their guns at this grand octopus. At one, at two legs, at left legs, then six. But the creature continued with two other arms. Where's the rhyme going? The northwestern water wailed in with alarm. The pirates abandoned this nautical nonsense and swam right to shore with their rather large haunches. But gaggles of gunmen got left getting gobbled. The creature was angry, and in its own ink it hobbled. So down dove the octopus right to his den. He spit out their bones and fashioned a fence. And each treasure, of course, he had not left behind. He'd befriend all those baubles in very short time. And long lived this octopus hidden away. But his fate fell quite quickly on one fateful day. And then we have a missing page. So plentiful pirates. Let me write that one down. And I love when a checklist like this ends like right at the end of the page. So good. I was really scared I'd have to go on to the next page if there was one more. Plentiful pirates. Hi, Lucy. You can come up here. Find missing page. And that's going to be probably one of those ones that I'm assuming where, like, there's keywords in each of the paragraphs or something like that, or keywords that you have to find throughout. And I hate those ones because I always miss one word and it throws off. And then, like, trying to find it is so hard because it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. Ugh. All right. Find missing page. Oh. Goodness gracious, that was extensive. Okay, what do we have over here? Bruno, as usual, a good time was had by all. Your friend and fellow Jolly Roger, Gilbert. Oh, how the puzzle pieces are coming together. And who is the one that we saw in the entry would have had the red, I believe? Okay, I'm going to look around a little bit and take another, I'm just very slowly eating away at my pizza. So we're gonna peek around here together. You know. All right. Thank you for being patient. I am done with my pizza. My Domino's is popping off. Okay, what do we have to get all these to? Is it even chickens? I'm going to switch them all with chickens. There we go. Now, these kinds of games, I pride myself on being actually okay at. We have to get them all to the eye, don't we? Did we get an Easter egg? I heard a chicken caw, but... Are there Easter eggs in this one? Because if there are, I do love a good 100%-y, so we just might have to... Please don't hit... Oh, shoot! It's just so touchy. I can't yet. I can't until I finish this. It's like all blacked out down here. There we go. Okay. Oh, I was just like, guys, I'm actually kind of good at these games. This is actually a puzzle that I'm kind of good at. And then okay, no, that was the right one. I thought that one was already to the correct setting. That one's probably too far over. Nope, we got it. Okay. There we go. And please go far enough. Oh, phew. Okay. Ah, no. Okay. It's just so very touchy. Okay, got it. Beautiful, beautiful. Oop, 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 no. Okay. We got this. That one is so, like, you have to go low on it. Okay, got it. Just another moment here. Okay, and a little bit further. No! That one has such a range you can hit for it. Okay. Okay, so we really got to send it for those back corners. Ah, I just don't want it to, like, bounce. There we go. I want to kind of try and get that back one first. Please be... Oh, I thought it was going to hit the middle one. Okay. And middle. And super... this is going to make us or break us. Beautiful. Oh, that was a delayed animation. I was like, did it freeze? Am I supposed to, like, back out? Okay. What is that? Nope, that's charcoal. I thought it was like a black egg or something for a second. No Easter egg. I feel like that would have been too easy of an Easter egg to get anyways. What else to look at? What else to look at?
This must be where I'm supposed to put all the glass eyes I've found.
Oh.
Let's see how we're doing.
No, I do love a good collection box like this. Is that everything to do up here so far? Nope. Oh. Whose bedroom is this? Is this actually Bruno's bedroom? Because Bro can, like, spend a little more money on himself. Anti-consumerism and all, but, like, you don't have to live like this, buddy. You're a dentist in a so-called mansion. He blew his budget on that garden. I just know it. Blew his budget. Okay. Now, anyways, let's review. So time will tell. I don't know where to do this. Is there a clock around here that we need to fiddle with? I feel like most of these are going to be in the library to solve. Yeah, I don't see anything in here to really monkey with other than the directory for the cemetery puzzle. I am dreading that one. Oh. Okay. So 12. Do I click this each time? 3. 5. This would be really nice to have, like, the book side by side with, because then you could just go forward and backwards as it says and count as you go. And then I think it goes, well, it goes to 8. Do I have to go back this way? I don't think so, but I'm going to just to do it correctly. 8 to 11. Okay. Yep, we do each, like, sequence of numbers. Okay, so there's 1. Do I get 3 eyeballs from this? Jackpot. 12, 7, 10, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, cat eye. That one's pretty. I do think, like, if you were ever missing an eye and you had, like, I would totally have a variety, I think. Just like Bruno. Kind of, like, just put one on, like, jewelry at that point. Put it on to, like, match your mood, match your outfit. I think that would be kind of a fun way to embrace it. Okay, last one is 12. Did I already hit 12? I want to reset that. 12, 8, 10, And then we go to 4. And then I believe 9, 11. All right, done with the time will tell puzzle. Go us. Productive Saturday. What time is it? Only 3:30. That's not bad. I thought it was going to be 4. Okay. Librarian's Eye, cards in the drawer. This one has to do with the titles and addition, I believe. Bruno definitely had a thing for math. Not what I need. I think we are looking in here. Are we adding these final numbers together? Not now, not ever. 1, 4. Do we... Because our hint for this one is titles the thing, additions the hook. Do we alphabetize it and then... We're gonna... Hey, there's a little Easter egg. Is this before or after? I think this is after White Wolf. Finding Fish by Bill Kessler from White Wolf of Icicle Creek. That's a fun little Easter egg. Grinding Fake Eyes, Jenny Oculus, haha. Okay, so tongue in cheek. I don't know if that's part of the hint or if that's just like there for fun. Turn a Blind Eye by Willie See Me. Cute.
Librarian's Tale. Something Bruno Ballet wrote in that Tired Eyes book mentioned the Librarian's Eye.
By P. Teacher. So what to do with that then, you know? Okay, that was the last. We'll come back to that one. I don't think that's one that we're meant to solve right now. However, we can solve the book puzzle with the teeth. Now, there is a twist to this, I'm pretty sure, that has to do with, like, this is, like, you want to, like, transition yourself to be, like, in, like looking from the inside of the mouth at the teeth, or it's, like, backwards or something like that. I believe is kind of, like, a little trick to this. We will try it the first way first. Like the correct way, but I'm pretty sure we have to like flip it so like it'd be like we're looking outside of the mouth and at the back of the teeth, if that makes sense. So primary teeth, we have second molar, which is the upper right second molar. So instead of like upper right, it's going to be like actually the upper left side, I think is how it's supposed to go, but we're just going to do it the right way first. Upper right central incisor, which is the front tooth, and lower left lateral incisor, which is the tooth next to your front teeth. Okay. Then we have lower right canine is in 1, 2, 3. Upper left first bicuspid. Okay, so incisor, canine was first bicuspid, so 4 in. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a lower left canine is 3 in. And we have a lower left third molar, which is the back tooth. And yep, I don't think that's correct because we have to like do it from the inside of the teeth. No, we have to do it on 2 different things, don't we? Because is this the, these are the baby teeth. Darn it. Okay. So we're going to go, can I just go like up and down? Maybe we will do upper right second molar is the upper right, but we're going to do upper left. Upper right / upper left central incisor, this one. And lower left, which would be lower right, lateral incisor. So that one. And then we do, I just don't think this is right. Okay. I might need to start winding downstream for the day and resting my brain. I can just feel where we'll see if we have time for the cemetery puzzle, because I would like to like bang that one out of the way before Wednesday too, potentially. We'll see. I feel like we just got the grindiest part of the game today. So we have lower right, which is lower left canine, third in upper left, which is upper right, first bicuspid, which is 4N, I believe. Yep. Lower left, which is lower right, canine, number 3, and lower left, third molar, which is back here. I don't think that worked, though. All right, we'll try it the right way now. Upper right, second molar. Upper right, central incisor. Lower left, lateral incisor. And then we have lower right, canine. I'm pretty sure it is the opposite way, though. I just remember solving it. Upper left, first bicuspid, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Lower left, canine. Lower left, third molar, because it goes, okay. That should have been the solution. Pretty teeth grind, exactly. No, that's, ha 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 ha. Yeah, it is. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we were right the first time, where it's like opposite. We have to like transition our viewpoint from into the inside of the mouth. Upper right, which would be upper left, second molar. Upper left, well, upper right, central incisor. Lower left, lateral incisor. And then lower left, which means lower right canine, which is 1, 2, 3 in. Upper left, which is upper right, first bicuspid, 1, 2, 3, 4 in. We have a lower left, which is lower right canine. Bro has been, this is going to be Nancy's teeth if she doesn't stop eating every piece of sugar that she comes across in this game. So lower left, which is lower right, technically, canine. And lower left, third molar. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. So that's a bust. Okay. Maybe we'll take a peek at this book. Did I write everything down correctly? Filled upper right, second molar. Upper right, central incisor, then upper left, central incisor. Wait a second. That's what I'm missing. I am missing an additional one I didn't finish reading. The first rule in direction following, always finish reading the entire thing. Upper left. Okay, so we were just missing one. Upper left, central incisor. All right, let me just take a peek at the rest of these to make sure I didn't also miss one. I think we're good. Okay, we were just missing one. And I'm going to do this reverse again because I have it in my gut that that's the way it's supposed to go. So upper right, which is technically upper left. Wrong. I just very confidently hit the wrong one. Okay, it's the second molar. Upper right, which is upper left. Central incisor, and then the other central incisor. What were your parents letting you eat that you're having this kind of teeth work done? Lower left, which is lower right, lateral incisor. Okay, that was right. We got backed out. So that was good. Lower left, which is the lower right, I mean, which is lower left canine. Upper left, which is lower right. Upper left, which is upper right. First bicuspid, which is the fourth one in. Lower left, which is lower right canine. And then lower left, which is lower right, third molar. Hey! Okay, that one's done. I knew we could do it. All right, so time will tell. Scratch you off. Quincy T. Bookers, yeah. Scratch you off. We need to find the shovel. Let's look at our checklist real quick. Figure out what's up with the fake books and the...
All done.
Did that. Explore every inch of the garden, even though it is pretty darn creepy.
Can't check that off yet.
I wonder if we have to, like, solve a puzzle first or something. And I'm pretty sure I think we have to get the shovel from Renee, and I think part of that is, like, mushroom hunting, which is one of the cutest parts of this game. Figure out what the deal is with those symbols on the wall in Renee's room. Did that. Find out what the deal is with the card I found in the book about the crystal skull. We did that. Find the letter that Bruno was apparently reading when he had his fatal heart attack. Have not done that. And I think we need Iggy. Is Iggy the name for the iguana? Find the letter that Bruno was apparently... Okay, read that. See what's behind the hidden door that opened after I rearranged those paintings. Did that. Find out why that peephole in the passageway is focused on the book in the library. Oh, called Eye of the Beholder. We have not done that. That is a good one. Find the key to the door at the end of the passageway. I hate it when doors are locked. We know you do, Nancy. You don't have to tell us that. Explore the passageway that's between the walls of the great room and the library. Did that. Use the key I got from the drain. Okay, we did that. Take a good look around.
I haven't done that.
Guessing we have to solve more things. See what happens when I turn the handle on that Jack-in-the-Box. We did that. Determine the significance of the tune I played. Because don't we have to go back out and play that tune for the spider again? And I think he brings us an eye. Look at that. Okay, so we have to go play that tune for the spider. Do something with that token I found in the dummy's head. Did that. Follow the clues that Bruno left on that piece of paper in the dummy's head. Have not done that. Ugh. Since Bruno saw fit to write a book, maybe it would be a good idea to take another look around his library, since that's where he kept the books he saw fit to read. Find the shovel that's mentioned in the Steps in the Right Direction story. It's maybe in the garden somewhere. I'm guessing these are the hints included in Junior Detective mode. Pull the heads on those buzzards. Oh, I hate that puzzle. Okay, so let's go play our song for the spider first. Again, there are decent spiders in this world, and I think this is one of them. We just really pissed it off that one time, and it tried to kill us. Okay, so the way that this thing works is we have... This is middle C, so it starts at the key C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay. So we need to play 3 middle Cs. 1, 2, 3, D, E, 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 D, middle C, D, E, middle C. Thanks, friend. The spider said, here, damn. You don't have to play a whole song for me, just take it. All right, done with that. Cross off that note. Cross it off. Or was that?
Still have to do that. Can't check that off yet.
Okay, here we go.
All done.
Let's go look at the book in the library. Actually, let's talk to Renee. Not my favorite person to engage with, but I do love her little space. The aesthetic is high in here. Okay, not what we needed to do. I think, though, we can peek around. Oh, hey, Brave Bushido, welcome in. I hope you're having a really good Saturday. We just got through like the grindiest part of. We're still grinding a little bit. I just forget how grindy the puzzles feel in this game. Hold on.
This shovel with the weird handle. Do you think
I think we've unlocked a new puzzle.
Bolay took great interest in that shovel. Don't know why. Never used it. Just like to see it hanging there. Me, I use it to dig up roots.
There's a long one at the National Gallery with my museum director work. That's exciting. I'm sure a long day, but that's what an exciting place to be. Sure, it's busy, especially. Is this the time of year? I suppose it's like a month or so from now. Do you guys get like a lot of like class trip stuff and like? I feel like that would be a really busy time of year. Had to keep an arts fair, wedding, and the gala. Oh, okay, gotcha. Dr. Bolay took great interest in that shovel. Da, da, da. You mean like tree roots? Not like tree roots, Nancy.
Tree roots?
No, I mean roots like tannus, black cohosh, valerian. Roots that in the right hands are very special, very powerful. However, right now I need mushrooms. I was hoping to get.
Oh, my light died.
From the looks of all this potting I still have to do.
You know, not bad. We had 500 guests for the wedding, and the kids were running wild, and the beer is flowing. Oh, that's really annoying. Actually, I'm sorry you had to put up with that. Ooh, I'm not Rip Light. Sorry, I'm in shadows now. I can see the screen better though. No, that's overstimulating, is what that is. I totally understand why people have like child-free weddings, so that, you know, if adults want to have a good time, they can, and they don't. Children can be crazy at weddings, crazy. And it's all parents that are just not choosing not to keep track of them, which as a parent, that's wild to me. I couldn't imagine my behavior being like that at a social event. Been doing my job for 50 years. It's nothing new. Right now I need mushrooms. Oh, I love this part. I love this puzzle. I'd be so happy to pick them for you. I should have asked before. I was the fun guy and the villain.
All right.
You gotta be a little bit of
I have
both.
5 painted conchs. They're mushrooms that have got a short, fat stem and a large bell-shaped
Yep.
cap covered with big red dots. You might find 1 or 2 here in the garden, but you'll have better luck in the boggy part of the cemetery. You get me 5, no more, no less, and I'll let you borrow that shovel.
The kids run around the activity room with their shoes off because I felt sorry for them. That's the best you can do. They just had energy to get out.
Deal.
Absolutely deal. I believe some of these mushrooms are in the cemetery as well. She probably
What
just
else
said
may I
that.
be of service to
Oh,
you?
hold on. My husband just... How is thrifting, dear? Streaming now. Okay. We're back. All right.
Nice talking to you.
Thanks for coming by.
I'll tell him you say hi. To check in with him after and see how the day is going. I love when boys have a cute outing together. It's just, and like, you know, I go along with sometimes too. And I've been friends with this group of people since high school, like before my husband and I were ever dating. My husband and I started dating like at the end of high school for me, just for those not aware. So I've known this group of guys for a very, very long time.
Got to be a painted conch.
But I love it when they can just go have a guy day together. I'm having like the best solo me day of all time. That's for something else. We have to like go around and like pick flowers or plants or something, don't we? It was hilarious that I took 2 wines off the bride and groom as soon as they arrived because they tried to drink it romantically. I took 2 wines off the bride and groom's. Sounds like a fun day, though. The drinks were flowing. People were having a good time. And I suppose, so is this the beginning of
I'll just come
busy season for you, especially if there's, like, weddings frequently? Super cool place to get married. Or have a reception. Yep, we must have to go into the garden. Oop.
Another
Or
painted
into the
pond.
cemetery. Ah. I'm getting Nancy brained out. Well, I think we're good on that. And we got that pole thing already. I was like, absolutely not. Your event room is room 7. Keep it in the party. I'm sure it's not like the most uncommon thing for like, especially like the bride and groom to think they can bend the rules a little bit for their special day. But I'm glad you're able to wrangle things in. Okay, I think this is the, nope. Trying to find the, this guy. Where the alligator lives. Heck yeah. No, that was a close one, Nancy. Summer events consist of lots of birthday parties and weddings. Imagine your birthday party there. Is this a Nancy Drew death? I remember last week. Yep. Yep, this was like one of, what, 2 deaths, I think, in this entire game. Please don't feed the alligators. Oh. I'm gonna need like a good little like movie and brain off activity after this stream. Captain Hook would never, ever, ever. That is probably, that would be, I haven't watched that animated movie for a long time, but as a kid it was my favorite. One of those things where sometimes I'm scared to rewatch things as an adult, especially like older Disney stuff, because you find things that just don't age well. In fact, I did thrifting today. There were some things that, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, maybe this is just something that doesn't need to be resold again, like borderline like racist kind of art and things like that, where it's like, especially like recently hasn't aged well. There were just a few things there that were like kind of shocking to find that were like, ooh, I don't know if that's something we should be putting on the shelves here. Made the best joke with Jacqueline from finance. Hey Jackie, what did the Greek accountant say when the king asked for a loan? Let's see. What's in the Perseus? We love a good Greek mythology joke. I do, at least. Also, I think that's like a huge reason why Labyrintha Lies, I will always be a Labyrintha Lies apologist. Because I just find that, how many mushrooms did we have to get? I will just always find that to be such a fascinating and fun interest, we'll say. Peter Pan has a warning on it. Okay, I thought so. I was like, nope, now that I'm like thinking back, I'm pretty sure there's something in Peter Pan that's not good. Made another time, Disney doesn't line with those views now. I wonder how many movies Disney has to put that on. Boss, can you go do that disappearing act you do and leave me alone? Jackie's trying to get work done. Okay, there was a book from the Peephole. Here we go. That was too easy, actually. I was thinking this was going to be like a clue to another puzzle, and... Well, 5 painted conchs. Okay, we did that. We did that. We have to do that. Find all of Bruno's glass eyes. Pull the heads. No, not yet. Shovel that's mentioned. We did that.
Still have to do that. Still have
I
to do
think
that.
that's probably one that we can uncheck until they,
Did that.
Here we go. Until we, like, complete the eye thing. I hate that. I hate when it's like, hey, look at everything in this room, and you do look at everything in the room, but you haven't, like, solved everything in the room, so it doesn't let you check it off yet. Ooh, what did the adult caveman say to the teenage caveman? Tell us.
Still have to do that.
All right. Let's go finish mushroom hunting. I can't remember if there's one at the parents' grave or not. Man, I remember when you were only this... Man, I remember when you were only this Neanderthal high. Neanderthal. Okay. I did not read that correctly at first. Cute. Okay, no mushroom. Nope, no mushrooms, I don't think. There's definitely one here. The badumts. I think we have that sound. Shoot, I don't have my right screen up to be able to play it. Has anyone ever done mushroom hunting? I know we live in a pretty, like, there's good mushrooms around here, especially morel season, which I think is coming up. We have a very competitive crew here, though, where, like, people here have spots. We're pun this. Hey, here we go. 4. But, like, people have, like, secret spots, and, like, we don't tell other people, like, where the spots are. Also in Minnesota, foraging in state parks, which I don't think we have any national parks. I think we just have a national forest up north. It should be the Ojibwe National Forest, but I think they still call it, like, the Chippewa National Forest. Just a misnomer. Good for a corporate party. With the 2 French dueling paintbrushes stay before... Avant-garde. Ha ha ha. That is a good one. Okay, mushroom. I'm eating panic. Oh, never mind. I was like, oh, I feel like we're running out of spots to look. I've done, no, thank you for that. We love corny jokes. In fact, I have, like, certain ones I'll say to cashiers. Because cashiers, for some reason, cashiers love corny jokes, too. And, like, they always have one to share, especially if you get them talking and stuff. So I always, like, keeping some on hand to fire back at them so that, you know, they think I'm clever. I personally don't like mushrooms of any kind, but I remember looking for them during class trips in the woods. They were so magical to find. Like, even today, we'll get, like, mushrooms growing in our yard, and I freaking love it. I think they're so cute. I've always loved mushrooms to eat, to find. Like, I always loved finding... Hey, Tanner. Now I'm blushing. You're watching me. I hope you're having fun with your boys. I didn't know you had Twitch. Did you just make a Twitch to log on here? Oh my gosh, I'm flustered, guys. There's a cute guy watching us. Oh my gosh. We're just talking about mushroom hunting. I think that's something we talked about once too. Trying to go do. I have not personally, like, I wouldn't say professional, but like adult mushroom hunting is done very seriously. It's just more like, oh, hey, you know, look, mushrooms kind of thing. Celebrity is in the chat. I know. I'm so flustered now. No, I hope you're having fun. I don't think you're at Tyler's tournament yet, but
Can't check that off yet.
I'm assuming you're having fun with the boys, so it's good to see you. Oh, let me show you what I found thrifting since you asked. I found, this is like something I like went out looking for. I found this like candle holder thing. I'm going to put one of our electric little candle lights in it, and I'm going to probably hang it back on this wall. And I also found for our daughter's library, not 1, not 2, but 3, not original Nancy Drew books, like the hardcover ones, but like 3 kids Nancy Drew books. I also got her a toy, like one of those like stacker ring things. And then you saw the DVDs that I sent you, so I got you I did get you an Owen Wilson movie to show you, to prove to you I love you. All right, enough gushing over my husband. All right. What else do we have to do? I am like putting off the cemetery puzzle. Thanks for the update. You're so welcome. Okay, we do need to talk to Henry. That's a good way to... And also... Yes? I need to spend some serious time with our puggy boy later if you're still watching. He has been capital SB sad boy. He was frowning so hard when he realized I was starting to go upstairs. He is not very happy. He's been alone a lot the last 2 days. Yesterday I was gone to like drop my daughter off at my parents' house. And then today my husband's gone. I know the stream misses Bean. I thought about like I should almost like bring him up here for a quick cameo real quick. He can't be trusted though. I actually had him up here the other morning before our daughter got up. I was up here doing some work. Oh, he's barking right now. There's someone at our door. I don't know. But I had him up here, and, like, he can't come up here right now because him and Lucy kind of got into a potty war. They've been fine. I don't know if it was, like, I don't know what it was that drove him to do it, but long story short, he's, you know, gated to just downstairs in our basement now, where he's fine. We don't have that issue. It was a territory thing up here. This is kind of Lucy's space. Anyways, I brought him up here the other day, and like not 3 minutes him being up here and me keeping an eye on him, I turn for 1 second and I hear him start going, and so he can't be trusted up here. It's like him and Lucy get along great. Otherwise, it's just they're very territorial up here for some reason. But yeah, Bean heard you say that you missed him, Anya, and that was actually what he was yelling about. Come on. Okay. Henry, emo guy, emo king,
The one that has Bruno's glass eye on it?
proud member of the alt community.
What for?
Actually, all I really want is the eye. I mean, it's just so cool.
What if you break it?
I won't. I'll be really careful, I promise.
I don't think I want to take that chance. Sorry.
Because I spend more time water cooling talking than doing the task. But like if you're printing, you know, that's like when I was teaching, we had like our common teacher's room where you were waiting for your stuff to come off. And it was the water cooler there. We had a coffee pot in there and everything because we knew what that space was for. That space was for bitching. We do have to add him to the list. We did not add, maybe that's how we'll end the stream. We need to add the rest of the Shadow Ranch characters because I don't think Mary Yazzy's on there, and I don't think, I guess we can do Ed and Bet. Maybe even Dirk Valentine and, Meryl Humber and, Francis Humber. We can add them if we want to. It has to be done in Shorty. In Shorty, 100%, which he also classifies for this game too, if you know, you know. Okay, the Boxier Great Uncle's Things. That was a no. We're blackmailing him. Nancy is so gray area'd, it's not funny. She is so...
Box of things. I don't know what you're talking about.
I have the receipts, literally. Honestly feel like here's Shorty. That's a good idea. I do think that is a category we're missing. I don't think we had Yanni on that list. I don't think we had everyone from... We have Olivia Dorfman or whatever her name was on there, but we didn't have Yanni. I didn't see him on there because he could be like a Here's Shorty category. He gives me the creeps. He is not.
I checked out that half-burned receipt from Zeke's that I found in the fireplace.
Not to be
Well,
trusted.
somebody screwed up somewhere because I haven't sold anything to anybody. Why would I sell one lousy box of stuff when I'm about to inherit a whole house?
Not only do I
full of
have the
stuff?
receipts, I know the motive too. You're not getting away with this.
You needed some quick cash in order
I love
to
that we
sell
name
it,
drop too.
didn't you?
How do you know about her?
This is such a
Detective
boss
is actually
move.
a lot more than a hobby with me.
I only know Olivia
Make a
Dorfman,
lot of trouble
the
for
most
you.
important character of that story.
Tell me about Summer.
She's this girl I'm in love with. I think she loves me back, but she's so unpredictable it drives me nuts.
How is she unpredictable?
I never know
Okay,
what's gonna make her
therapy
happy.
Nance.
Like,
Should we
just before
put
I left,
therapist
I
is
took
on
all
Nancy's
the
resume for
cash
this?
I had and bought her a bunch of CDs,
Because I
You
am.
know, to keep her occupied outside while I was gone, right? Well, soon as I get here, she calls and says her sound system just went bluey, and I had to buy her a new one, because what good were the CDs I bought her if she couldn't play them?
So then you threw a bunch of Bruno's things into a box and sold it to that curio shop.
Yeah, I wired her the money, but then she
I mean, I
called
think
and
we've
said
crossed
she wanted
into-
me to get new headphones. Next call, it was new speakers, and now she expects me to buy her a flat-screen TV. When I try to talk to her about always wanting more like that, she gets really mad. But I'm afraid if I don't give her what she wants, she'll...
Give it up, Henry. She is not the one.
I couldn't take that.
Don't let her manipulate you like this.
Girlfriend I've ever had.
No.
Will have, probably. Look, you
Oh.
don't have to go telling Renee or any of those
Someone
lawyers
point this
about
guy to
some
the
of
nearest
that
Hot
stuff, right?
Topic. He will definitely find this time period at a Hot Topic. He'll have no problem finding someone that wants to date him.
I guess I could just forget all about it. Especially
I
if
can't
you
ignore
would
what you
say
did,
"Have
Henry."
something for me."
Shoot, we should really be playing the
You
Evil
still want
Nancy
the console?
playthrough.
Take it. Go ahead. It's all yours. You want something, I want something. Take it and we're even, okay?
Well, it's not like you sold off half
Oh,
the estate or
gives it all up.
$300. That's all I've gotten out of his estate. I swear. Go on, take it.
Just hardballed him. Henry Babes, you just need to listen to some of My Chemical Romance and you'll be fine. It's like doing the rosary. Do like 3 Helenas and 5 Welcome to the Black Parades and you're going to be feeling much better. Oh, can I not sneak on this stuff? Well,
I was naughty, but from now on I'll be nice, I promise.
Do you know anything about the crystal skull that was
some
in that box of
CDs.
junk
Oh, I
you-
saw a few that he would like earlier when I was at the thrift stores.
Are you sure? It
Which
wouldn't
I
make
did
sense
look
another
through.
box.
I did look through CDs. I am into growing my CD collection again. I have a good number,
Was it valuable?
All I
and my
really know for
parents
sure
are
right
great
now
at
is that
preserving
it's
that kind of
missing.
stuff too. So they have like
Be just my luck.
a lot of the CDs I saw. I was like happy to be like, okay, I already have that one. No need. Or my parents have that one. No need.
I'll stop bugging you now.
Yeah, my parents have an incredible collection. My dad had a whole machine just at, speaking of media preservation, which I guess in this way it's like same difference, but he had a converter so he could put all of his tapes and compile them onto CDs together. It was like a whole machine he had, and he'd spend hours in the basement doing that. Okay, so we got the eyeball.
I haven't done that. Still have to do that.
We did have enough. We did finish mushroom hunting. I walked right past Renee and didn't even think to ask.
Did you pick
Or
me
tell
those
her.
mushrooms yet?
Sure did.
Heck
Well,
yeah.
bless your heart, you did it.
I do love a good
Actually,
collection
thinking
quest
of
in a
one
Nancy
growing
game
on
though.
the
For as much
wall
as I'm
here in
complaining
the
about like
swamp is a
scavenger
little hairy.
quests or
Oh,
like
my.
the book
I
puzzles
forgot
and
to
stuff
warn
like
you
that, I
about
do
Bernie,
love a
didn't
good
I?
fetch quest in a Nancy
By
Drew game.
Bernie, you mean the
My mom would
elevator
burn
that almost
CDs to me.
happened
She
for
had like a
you?
whole tower.
Yeah,
Yup.
you did.
When we got a
One of
CD
Dr.
burner,
Walden's
my life
pets. He'd
changed.
kick that log to get Bernie's attention, then feed him marshmallows.
I still have some of my burned
Now
CDs
that
from like
beetle
middle
leaps up and
school.
snaps every time someone so much as touches that log. I should have said something, but I've gotten so used to Bernie, I just plain forgot. Anyway, feel free to help yourself to that shovel. You earned it.
Thanks, Renee.
I'll see you later.
Take care, hon.
Those are such like a cultural moment because like a true act of love, if someone gave you a burned CD that they made for you, that they made their own playlist, burned it to a CD and gave it to you because it made them think of you, that was like, is that a love language? That could almost be its own love language. It is such a beautiful thing to do. Like Spotify playlists aren't the same anymore. Burned CD from someone you knew well, oh my gosh. Or just like have like decorating it with Sharpies and making it look all cute. And, like it was such a personality piece. Like if I wish I decorated the covers of mine cuter because I feel like that could be like a really cute like little art thing to like make like a little mobile from the CDs you burned as a kid. All right. Okay, so we have the shovel. I think we can actually... Did I grab it? Or did I walk right past it? I think I just walked right past it. Okay. So our little
Hello
magic...
there.
Oh, don't want to
See
do
you
that.
later.
It is like a time capsule. It is so... My whole, like, CD thing, like, I can... I have, like, the best, like, mesh cover on it. It's orange and black. I still... I think I have it here somewhere. It's just, like, in storage, but I should really go looking for it. And then what's crazy to me is we just got a new car this year because we quickly outgrew our, like, regular, like, small cars. We have, like, a big mom car now. What's crazy to me in that is there's no CD player anymore. Like, my car that I had before that was a 2014 No Brainer, had a CD player. And what you always did whenever you sell a car, I would always burn a special CD of, like, some of my favorite songs, and I would leave it in the car. So that the next person got to enjoy it. Because someone did that for me for my very first car. I've gone through, like, I think this is my 4th car. But someone did that to me when I got my very first car. And it was, like, the best mix of, like, it was, like, the Offspring and really good, like, some 90s, like, to early 2000s, like, alternative pop punk, grunge kind of style bands. It was so good. So I always do that for, like, whenever I sell cars, I'll just, like, forget a CD in there, but it's my gift to... I had a good time listening to these songs in this car, and that's my gift to the next person who owns it. You don't get a choice. Okay, so we need to go to Charlie C. Wicker's grave. So excuse me while I search for his... What a cool view. Here we go. Yep, so we have our directions up here, which we have written down. All right. We have to go west 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we go north 1, north 2, 1, 2, east 1, no, east 1, yep. I need to put my finger on the right one. Okay. Now we're going to go south 3, 1, 2, 3, west 2, 1, 2, north 1, 2, west 1, 2, 3, south 1, 2, 3, east 1. This is like never ending. This puzzle's kind of too long actually. North 1, 2, east 1, north 1, 2, 3, east, nope, east, west 1, 2, 3, 4, south 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, west 1, 2. We did it. Okay, now we have to like, okay, let me read. You're going to love this, Chickwood. That wedding had a magician that could turn old lotto tickets into dollar. He's like, watch this, sir. Poker card flat. Flicks the lotto ticket and they turn into a stack. That's a fun trick. We did for my wedding. I was kind of like a magician with that. Speaking of lotto tickets, I wanted to keep my bouquet. That's just, you know, I have it hanging up. It's still like upside down, like in its drying position. It just looks so, I love it like that. So it's kind of like an art feature now in our house, and I just like having it. So I switched it out when I did the bouquet toss at our wedding. We switched it out really last second. Our DJ came up. It was his idea. And he, like, took my bouquet real quick, and he gave me, like, just, like, a cheapy little plastic bouquet. And he shoved a bunch of, like, lotto tickets in it. And then my dad, like, shoved, like, an extra, like, $100 bill or something in it. And we threw that. My friend caught, well, everyone there was my friend. But one of my good friends caught it. So it was just kind of like a fun little switch out where it looked like I was going to go throw my bouquet, and someone got a nice little money prize instead. Is this like alternative snake, right? Oh. It feels like it too, because I always get nervous when I'm getting towards the edge, because I'm like, okay, if I'm doing this wrong, I'm going to run into a wall. I said, hey, Magic Man, can you retire on that trick, right? Infinite money hack. And if you want to keep the bouquet, that's totally bouquet too. That was good. That was a really good one. Shoot. Okay. Do I have to, like, grab the shovel? Is it canon that I'm already holding the shovel? Okay, actually, though, what the heck? I think it is. Is this just a hotspot or a... Yeah, hotspot search? That would drive me kind of crazy. I hate this. I actually hate this puzzle. Today's... Is this right? Today's stream has kind of made me into a little bit of a Legend of the Crystal Skull hater. Shocking for me, because, like, in my memory, I love this game so much, but there's no way this... Is this right? No. That was so dumb. Why wouldn't it just keep your shovel in your hand? Did I not just use it the entire last part? Okay. I'm sorry. You guys had to witness that. I need some torque. All right. Ooh. Shoot. Oh, that's a cool eyeball. That's unfortunate it broke, but now that's unforeseen. Look at us with the jokes today. I should say you guys. Look at me navigating, though. I am getting pretty okay at it. That's also one thing I really pride myself on. Okay, so we're done with steps in the right direction. I really pride myself on for Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake. I've played that game so many times. I know that forest like the back of my hand. And as someone who spends like a moderate amount of time looking at my hands, I know it pretty well. I bet your dad didn't put another Benjamin in the bouquet of flowers, Dad. Man, if I keep doing that, I'll totally be Baroque. That was like, it was so funny to see my dad on our wedding day, because like, they were just ready to spend money and have a good time. It was so cute to see. I hope I get to do the same for like our kids' weddings someday. He was tipping everyone. Like, we tipped too, and like he was just going around and re-tipping everyone. He was just happy to be there and having a good time.
I haven't done that.
Okay. So, we still have to do Key to the Statues, which is my least favorite puzzle. I feel like we're getting kind of close to the end. I do want to switch over. Tip Top Fella. He sure is. Maybe we switch over to the best POV and see if there's anything new to do there. I know in my head there's still so much to do, but at the same time I'm like, I remember how the game ends, and I feel like we're getting... How many eyes do we have? That's the real truth. We have to... Is Iggy the... Am I just thinking Iggy the Iguana because that's an easy name for an iguana, or is that actually the name for him? "17 eyes. Okay. That's not so bad. I kind of want to go up to the secret room, and then maybe then we call Bess. Is there any more spying to do? Yeah, right? I think that's a little over half because there's 32 or what, 34? I feel like that went so... It just... Beginning of the game is fun. Middle of the game, not my favorite. I think that's what I'm running into is I'm just like not thrilled with the puzzles in this part of the game. This is how we get Iggy. It is Iggy.
Iggy, come here, Iggy. Got something for you.
Sick. I do love a good dress-up game. I do love a good dress-up game. Does this have to do with the pirate? We're missing an important piece, aren't we? Okay, I think that there is one where we dress him up like a little mailman. Is that one and he brings us something? He's like, "Aw! Dear Dr. Bolay," is this the letter? "I have completed my review of the data gleaned from the tests I ran last Tuesday on the crystalline replica of the human skull which you and Mrs. Amande," that's not Ms. Amande, is that Renee? "brought in. What follows is the simple answer regarding its authenticity, which the two of you requested. My analysis showed that the crystal skull, while made of remarkably pure crystal, was carved using modern instruments. In layman's terms, the skull is a fake. Again, thank you for allowing Milo Research and Technology to serve you." Bauchica Woodwood. You know he will. Okay, so now we need another, what, kumquat? For that, and we have to find, there's a pirate. We have to dress him up as a pirate, and that's, I think he brings us the missing page. So we found the letter that I'm assuming he was reading when he had his heart attack. Okay,
Check.
did that,
All
did
done.
that,
Can't
did,
check
oh,
that off
did
yet.
that.
Still have to do that. Can't check that off yet.
Did we not check it out?
Can't check that off yet.
Do we have to, like, call someone because of it? Ah, yes, we do. Also, I do love really putting Nancy in, like, private areas when she makes phone calls. You won't always see me do it because sometimes for convenience sake, but
This is Chaz, Milo. Service forwarded your call.
I do feel better when Nancy is in a secluded place to make her phone calls.
I'm at the gym. On the treadmill. It's called multitasking.
Media preserve people,
Well,
pirate
about the letter you
life.
sent to
It's
Dr.
the pirate
Boyd,
life for
the
me.
letter Where you told him the skull was a fake. I was just wondering.
I never told him that.
Never told him what?
I told him that skull was authentic.
T.
No, you said in the letter the skull was carved using modern instruments.
I said all the tests I ran proved the skull had been hand-carved and hand-polished. Probably took decades to make.
But the letter Dr. Bolay got said just the opposite.
Then the letter he got must not have been the letter that I wrote.
Are you saying the crystal skull is real?
Hey, I'm not saying it's magic or anything. I'm just saying it wasn't made using 19th century, 20th century, or 21st century technology.
Did you carbon date it to see how old it was?
The thing was pure quartz. No carbon in quartz. No carbon, no carbon dating. Hey, look, I'm gonna hang up now. If I try to talk anymore, I'm gonna pass out.
Just one more question. Did you send that letter saying the skull was authentic to anyone else?
No, just Dr. Bolay. I heard he died recently. Good thing I...
I think I built him up front. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
No problem.
thing you're not supposed to say. All right, let's call. Let's check off first.
Did that.
There we go. Get that bag, I guess, right? Like, go off king, I guess, but... Yikes. Let's call Bess. We're gonna hide up in here and take a nap and let Bess take over for a little bit. It is cold in my house today.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
That's That's what I was going to ask you.
I'll see you later.
Bye.
All right, Bessie, what do we have on our checklist? Talk to him a little bit more. Okay. We can do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we just ask people this?
I hear that you're a member of the Jolly Rogers crew. Is that true?
Perhaps I am. Perhaps I am not. I'm sure someone as charming and attractive as yourself has her.
Don't give me the ick here, doctor.
Be that as it may, just what is a crew?
Crews are organizations whose primary purpose is to put on parades during Mardi Gras. They also put on fabulous parties. Very private parties. Members only. Some consider crews to be private clubs. Secret societies is a term others have used. However, back in the 1990s, the city decided not to issue the Jolly Rogers any more parade permits, unless they opened their crew to pretty much anyone who wanted to join. So, refusing to be blackmailed, they chose instead to
Interesting.
put on
So a cult, right?
As far as
That's
the
a lot of
city's
words
concerned,
to just describe the
Jolly
word cult.
Rogers no longer exists.
Was Bruno Bolet a Jolly Roger too?
Perhaps. Perhaps.
This part always felt sinister to me.
I've bugged you enough.
Good night.
Not only is he, like, being icky. Oh, I wonder where he went.
Did that.
Can we go back there yet? No? Okay, let's go visit Shoddy.
Evening. What can I do for you?
Ooh, what are we doing? We did... Let's do more crawfish. That does look good.
Woo, that was hot.
Eat up.
Jambalaya. I love eating foods in Nancy Drew games. I love... I don't know. Have we gotten that before? Okay. We'll go talk to Zeke.
Sneeze lady, what's going
Never
on?
mind.
Guess I'll
Do we really
check
need
this out
Bess for
some more.
anything right now? I guess
Sounds like a
not.
plan.
It must be Nancy's time to shine. Well, let's call Nancy. Because don't we have to, like, bully Bess into going to a meeting?
Looks like Dr. Buford decided he's had enough gumbo.
He's not at Granny Pumpkin's anymore?
Oh, wait, wait, wait.
Here's what else I've learned since I talked to you last.
Okay, so that did move the plot
That's
forward a
all she
little.
wrote. Excellent. Thanks for the report.
Stay in touch. See ya.
Is there anything else I need to do in here before we leave? I don't think so. Okay, yep, we need to go get more kumquats, I guess. I hate that you can only take one at a time.
There must be another way out.
Oh yeah, the candelabra. One of my favorite words. I think that's such a pretty word. To the garden. What I really don't like with this game is that you get kind of turned around in the middle, and I feel like, yeah, I am remembering that part where that's where I love having guides. And I try not to, like, consider it cheating. For me, it's just sometimes the games don't push you in the right direction enough. And I feel like that's not on us as the, you know, the player. I feel like sometimes the games need more obvious nudges. Again, never do this with a touchpad. You will break your brain and get very frustrated. All right, let's see what else he has for us. I am trying to figure out where you get the little pirate costume thing from, because that has not... Oop. Not what I want to do. Nope. I hate when they have only one-way entrances. I mean, you know, a foxhole always needs to... you know, another escape, or however the saying goes, but... I don't think we need a one-way interaction here. That feels counterintuitive. Okay. Oh, Iggy. Gosh, I'm trying to think, like, what do we have, like, all the resources to do right now? And my brain just keeps landing back on the freaking cemetery puzzle. I'm really warring between playing it now. Okay, so we also have to dress him up as an optometrist, right? Ophthalmologist? Optometrist? Optometrist. Is that the right costume? And sometimes you end up doing stuff too early. Yeah, because of the lack of guidance, which can mess up the whole gameplay. I haven't had game breaking, but I have had, like, oh, that just, like, made this other part obsolete, and now I don't get to do that part anymore. And I don't like that. I'm definitely... I'd like to think of myself as a completionist. I lack the discipline to be a full completionist. But I do enjoy, like, being able to experience everything there is to experience in a game. And that really bothers me. Games where you can easily miss gameplay, or games that are, like, decision based, I struggle with because of that. Because I just want to, like, know everything, and some games are just, like, not designed that way, or other games are designed to, like, you know, omit parts based on what you miss and what you don't look at close enough. How many eyes are we up to? 18. I do love seeing them all together. That is a vibe. I just know Bruno Bollet loved coming into his secret little lair every morning to get ready and, like, put a new eye in and deal with his little secret things. He loved having this little man cave up here. And, okay, so we have... Do we have to dress him up like a clown? Is there any relevance to that? I don't think it was part of our task list, but okay, optometrist. And we also need to dress him up like a pirate.
Still have to do
have
that.
not done that. I don't even know why I try to. I really don't want to do the cemetery puzzle. But someone's gotta. Okay. So here it is. The last denizen buried on my guard will start you a hunting through the graveyard. What's written on the headstone will lead you to another, and so on and so forth till tiny treasure you discover. All this for an eyeball? I don't think so. I can't remember what the